Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hagenauer Reserve for the 2022 Box Hill Classic. My name is Lachlan Rayner. You are watching a stream on Athletics Exclusive. We are going to be bringing you all 18 events from the Box Hill Classic. Tim Crosby will be your in-stadium commentary, but we will give you the timetable right now so you can see that on your screens. Live start lists and results will be produced through Athletics Victoria's Results Hub. Links to that will come up on screen. As you can see here, we're getting ready to go for the first event on the program at 6 p.m. Men's 4x800 metre relay. Go through with a number of 800s before moving our attention, or turning our attention onto the 1500s, and then rounding out the night by 9:05 with the final event, which is the mixed 3,000 metres. Now, we are not too far away. We will cross live down to Hagenauer Reserve, where Tim Crosby will be your race commentator throughout the evening. We do hope you enjoy the coverage. As mentioned, the start lists are all there on Athletics Victoria's Results Hub. Live results will be posted throughout the night. You can also see the start list, so follow along. The events, we do just wait for them to get underway. It'll be a jam-packed night of action here at Box Hill, a favourite on the calendar, especially for distance runners. Do spend quite a bit of time here with Victorian Milers Club events, as well as the Box Hill Burn only a few weeks ago, with Box Hill Classic on tonight. So just finalising our last, as I did mention, Tim Crosby will be your commentator throughout the night.
We can do it after the night. Yeah, okay. We can do it at the end of the night. I would have thought Wiggy would want to do some of these.
He hasn't done any. I don't think he's been self-interested in school.
So whatever we change, modify it. Just put everything as...
Will we take that one break?
Can you get...
So we're starting the all the 18 way.
Otherwise you're going to have to test it every time you unplug it.
No, we don't retest when we go over 1500.
Just a slight delay to the start of proceedings here at the 2022 Box Hill Classic. We're getting our timing in order before we start with our 4x800 metres. One race, two teams. an attempt at the world record for the 45 pluses, which stands currently 8:47.91, set by Poland. So let's introduce our fields, the 4x800 metres. Our B invitational team, David Morrissey, Mark Stodden, Matt Grant and Tim Halpin to finish off. And in the A invitational team, the team going for that world record, Daniel Hopkins, Mark Hipworth, Nathan Crowley and Craig Sanford. So our two teams in the men's 4x800 metre relay.
Thanks, gentlemen. Moving up to the line. On your marks.
So underway, Morrissey on the inside, Hopkins to the outside in the blue uniform. So the blue uniform will be consistent with the team going for the world record. The black uniform going to be trying to assist with some of the pacing in this event. So they're going to be crossing over onto the inner lanes as they go through the cones now, past Scott Lawrence. So moving over, and now inside lane all the way. So it is Daniel Hopkins leading the way at the moment. So an average split of around 2:11 required. So our first runner, I believe, is usually around that mark, that 2:11, 2:12. And Hopkins just starting to get away from the B invitational team as they come into the home straight. Conditions quite good down here, trackside. A little bit of a breeze, but nothing too bad. So nice conditions, still a little bit of warmth in the air for the 800 metres as Hopkins comes through. So he'll be looking around that 65-second mark as he goes through, and I think he'll be a bit under that. So a nice opening split, 64 low, I think, 66 there for Morrissey as he goes through. So Daniel Hopkins just setting a really good tempo. Probably get a little bit of a headwind down the back straight and then finish with that tailwind into this home straight as he comes around. So motoring along quite nicely. So the all-important back straight now for Daniel Hopkins, trying to set up this world record attempt, and he is looking strong, just still pulling away inch by inch from Morrissey in the black, as rounding through the 600 metres now in approximately 1:37. So still on target time here. So Daniel Hopkins setting up this world record attempt beautifully. Morrissey just hanging in nicely at the moment for the B team. And let's get behind him as he comes into the home straight. So this is where we want to see him using that tailwind coming into the home straight to hand off. And it will be going to Mark Hipworth with Mark Stodden to do the chasing. So big finish here for Hopkins. Time check. He's going to be right on where they need him, around that 2:11, 2:12. So a good start. Hipworth underway now. Stodden going to do the chase. And I think Stodden will probably try and take a little bit distance on this first lap. So Hipworth, as we said, a little bit over 45 years of age, but great to see Hippo being invited into this world record attempt. And as mentioned, Stodden running around that 2:01, 2:02 mark a lot of this season. Hippo's more like the 2:14, 2:15, I think a lot of his season this year. Obviously an accomplished Masters runner, an accomplished pro runner, so he knows how to finish, and Stodden's done a beautiful job just placing himself in front of Hipworth, and now Hipworth's just going to get the benefit of the toe. So Stodden's got to be careful he doesn't ease back too much, just get into a good rhythm. Hippo's right on your ankles there, so we've just got to keep this rolling along in to the second lap of runner number 2. So this is working beautifully at the moment. So bear in mind the next runner, Crowley, he's a sub-2 man. So what we may lose a little bit here on leg number 2, we should be getting back on leg number 3. So the pacing working beautifully here. Hipworth is a strong competitor over the 800. He's run plenty of them. As I said, both in Masters, also open age competition and in the VAL. So down the back straight, Hipworth moving beautifully. Stodden doing a great job there. And our next runner, it'll be Matt Grant versus Nathan Crowley. So Hipworth having to work hard now. Last 200. Stodden just trying to keep contact there, give him a little bit of encouragement as they come around the top bend the last time for Hipworth, and he is driving beautifully into the home straight now. So the Invitational B team leading, courtesy of Mark Stodden. And then we see Hipworth really trying to make everything in this last 100 metres. So time check now. That's a good split. So 4:27, 4:28 through the mark there, and Crowley is off. He's chasing Grant, and he'll have to do a fair bit of chasing. Matt Grant's had a great season this year as well, but Crowley is just eating into that lead already, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just flew past early. So Crowley down the back straight. Nope, he's going to sit. So Grant's going to do the pacing here. Crowley just have to be careful, do his time check at 200 and make sure he's on schedule. So Grant doing the leading. Crowley in next position. So 8:47.91, that is the time we're looking for. Certainly on target at the moment as they're going through the mid stages. On to runner number 3 now. Grant leading. Crowley. He's had a host of sub-2s this season, also last season at Milers Club, and it's great to see Crowley in such good form. And Matt Grant, another great VAL runner, just doing a superb job. They're through on around right on, well, that was about a 58, I think. So they are on. This is really taking some. I think Crowley's probably got to take the lead there if he's got to get a move on here down that back straight. But Grant just surges again. That's what we need. Grant's just going to put the foot down the back straight. And this is where Crowley needs that pull along. The momentum looking good from Crowley. So 250 out from him. Grant just moving well. Yep. Let's get behind the two runners here, Grant and Crowley. Let's see if Crowley goes to the outside here because he's got to change in the outer lane to Sanford, and then he's doing that, going onto the shoulder and charging forward. So remember, it was about a 4:29 when he took over. So he's going to be right on that 2-minute mark, I reckon, as he goes through. And Craig Sanford, yeah, just under the 2-minute mark there for Crowley. Great running by Grant. And now we've got Halpin and also Sanford going for it. We expect this to be a good competition. So Halpin is going to go to the front, I believe, down the back straight. So Sanford looking good. Sanford's been running around the 2:4 mark lots of this season. Halpin not quite that quick, but I think we're going to see what the way it plays out tonight. He's going to do the pacemaking on the first lap. So Sanford now just sitting right on his heels, and they're moving beautifully around the top bend for the first time. Tim Halpin just having a little peek around the shoulder, but you'll know that Craig Sanford's right there. Set him up beautifully. 8:47. They're going to absolutely smoke this here. We're going to see a world record starting off the 2022. Let's just hope Craig Sanford's hamstrings have got it in him for 400 more metres. So they're well and truly under that record. They're going to set a pretty reasonable pace here and make it harder for any of the other 45 pluses to try and grab that record as we go into that European summer. But Halpin doing a great job here. We thought Sanford would probably try and go solo on the second lap, but Halpin still leading. Sanford going nicely down the back straight though. Time check 7:50.
Get around them.
So 200 metres out. We're going to see a world record here. They've got 46 seconds. I reckon overnight could do that for this last 200. So Sanford coming up alongside Halpin. So the race should be on in the last 100 metres here as they come into the final bend, over the final bend, into the straight. Sanford to the outside. Let's give the big finishing charge. 8:20 on the clock. They're absolutely going to smoke this record. So fantastic running here from our guys. Tim Halpin, what a job you've done setting the pace there for Sanford. 8:30 on the clock now. So we're opening our competition tonight. World record, unofficially 8:36 thereabouts. The B team, what a great job they did in assisting in that. But we've seen a new world record. That clock's still ticking over. And you can see it's the old record about right now. So bad luck the Poles. The Aussies have now got it.
Just on the bars open and then we'll probably have to...
So after the excitement of that, you can now head your way to the bar because the bar is now open. Food in the bar will be coming in about another 15 minutes' time, but the pizzas are cooking. They're nice and hot over at Frankie's Flaming Pizza. So another few minutes until we go to the men's B 800 metres. So our new world record for the men's 4x800 metres, 45 plus, is 8:36.35. So over 11 seconds, shaving off the old world record. So congratulations to our competitors there. Daniel Hopkins, Mark Hipworth, Nathan Crowley, and also Craig Sanford, our world record holders. So we've got 4 starters plus a pacer in the men's B 800 metres. Sam Allen from Old Scotch will start from lane 2. In lane 3, we have an invitational runner in James Longley. Lane 4 will be vacant. Lane 5 is from a Box Hill, Adam Schlick, and Mitchell Wilson from Collingwood will be in 6. Harrison Carr will be doing our pacing job.
On your mark.
So underway, 4 competitors, 1 pacer in the men's B 800. They're looking about 56 for the opening lap. And it's Harrison Carr, I believe, in the orange in the outer lanes. He'll be doing the pacing job here. Apologies, Corey doing the pacings. James Longley is in the blue. Right on him is Mitch Wilson. They're going through the 200 at 26 seconds. So 26 opening 200. So quite a quick one if they're looking at a 56. The pacemaker just getting a little bit of a break. And it's James Longley who's trying to bridge that gap at the moment. Wilson in next position, then Schlick and Sam Allen from Old Scotch. So coming into the home straight now in a straight line here. In good contact there, Longley with the pacemaker. So the pace is getting through here. A little bit quick, 54 high, maybe 56 there from Wilson, and then 57s for also Schlicht and Allen. So Longley now on his own. The pace is out. Wilson adrift by about 10 metres at the moment. Another 10 to 15 back to Schlicht and also Allen. Into the back straight now. Wilson starting to make a little bit of a move. So well-judged race here from Wilson. Step by step, he's just starting to eat into that lead of James Longley. So Allen now moving into third position as we see 200 out. The big move here from Wilson. Quite experienced now over the 800s. And we're seeing Longley just drifting back into the pack a little bit as Allen starts to make his move forward, then Schlicht. But into the home straight now. Mitchell Wilson, Collingwood Harriers leading the way. So looking for a good opening time here. Went through in around that 55-second mark and a big, strong finish here for Mitch Wilson. So well-judged race for him. 53. It's going to be about a 55, I'd say it will be. That's a good time for Wilson. He'll be happy. Great running there from Longley. Put it out there and he'll just be on the 2-minute mark. Allen comes through next about 2:02 and Schlicht will round out the field in 2:05. So a well-judged race there. Mitchell Wilson, Collingwood Harriers taking out the men's B 800 metres. So next event on the track will be the women's A 800 metres. We have 3 starters. In 4 from Collingwood Harriers, it is Amy Robinson. Sharnee Landon from Maccabi, she's in 5. And Tess Kersop-Cole from Geelong Guild will be in 6. No pacemakers. They are simply racing this women's A 800 metres.
On your mark.
So 3 young ladies looking at national championships not too far away. This will be a nice little hit out. And good that they're actually racing, so they're going to work together, set the pace. We've got Kersop-Cole, the fastest of the seeds, Robertson in next position, and then we have got Sharnee Landon. Not a lot separates them on best times, but 2:02 for Kersop-Cole. She certainly is one of the form runners. But it's nice to see them going now through in about 29. So a good opening salvo there over 200 for this women's A 800 metres. As I said, 2:02, Kersop-Cole, medalist in the national championships last year. And we're seeing her, she doesn't mind leading actually, and this is great for both Landon and Robinson. Landon coming into very, very good form this season, getting close to her personal best set several years ago. So the Israeli national representative, national champion sitting in second, and 50 right on the 60 seconds. High 59s for Kersop-Cole. Robinson, as we know, she likes to wind up onto that second lap, just sitting right on the back of Landon at the moment. Will probably launch down that back straight though. The gap to Kersop-Cole not really extending that much, so Landon starting to stride out beautifully on the back straight. Robinson, the beneficiary now, some very good pacing, and we're just seeing Amy Robinson getting that little bit of a move on, which is traditional for her as that strength comes through. But Landon will not let her pass. This is good for both of them. They're fighting. Kersop Cole not getting away. About 1:31 as they go through that 600-metre mark. So we're going to see some pretty good times from all three of the young ladies here tonight. So get behind them as they finish this. Not a big in numbers, but certainly big in quality here at this A800. Tess Kersop Cole led all the way. She's going to take it out. She's looking strong. Landon is really battling on. Now Robinson tries to go to the outside. So Kersop Cole will take it. Landon holding on beautifully. 1:59, 2 minutes now. We're going to see some good times here as they approach Nationals. 2:03. Landon will hold on. 2:05. That's very close to PB, I think, for Shani Landon and Robinson. What a battle that was for those three. So some good times there. Our women's A800. Official times for the women's A 800 metres. Tessa Kersop Cole takes it out 2:03.88. In second position in a time of 2:05.77. Shani Landon. And in third position 2:05.98. Amy Robinson. So Landon just missing the PB by milliseconds. Let's now go to the men's A 800 metres. So let's introduce our competitors here. In lane one, it is Matthew Scott, the invitational runner. From New Zealand, in lane two, we welcome Brad Mathis. In four, representing Glen Huntley, Matthew Goff. In six, from Mornington Peninsula, it's Jake Stevens. In seven, from St Kevin's, Jack Lunn. In eight, representing Mentone, it is Geordie Hall. And Joe Deng's going to take them out as the pacer in the men's A 800 metres. So a lot of these runners with PBs around that 146, 147, drifting out to about 150. As we see Scott in the inner lanes just trying to track along with Mathis. So Deng's going to come across just floating along beautifully, our Victorian Open champion. Lunn now making that move into the third spot on the track. So they're through the 200, pacemaker on 25. So setting it up beautifully. So Deng, Mathis, Lunn, gap then to Scott. Goff in next position, then Stevens and Hoare. So nice time trialling conditions here and a good time trialer out front setting the pace as we see Mathis just edging forward to get onto the back of the pacemaker. So probably looking around that 52 for the opening lap and it'll be right on that 52 bang. Scott through in 54. We've got Goff, Stevens and also Hoare hanging in there nicely, a Victorian bronze medalist. But out front, Mathis is on his own now. The pacemaker steps off. Lunn is right in his shadows as they go down the back straight. So it's Mathis, an international from New Zealand. Lunn alongside him now, deciding he wants to take the lead. So going into that 600 metre mark, it is Jack Lunn leading. Comes in with, I think, PB around 146.7, and he's starting to really move away. Mathis just finding the pace a little bit too strong as we see Scott in next position taking Goff and Stevens, then a gap to Hoare. But Lund now coming into the home straight. He's got a lead of about 10 metres and looking strong. So let's get behind Jack Lund. Loves this track here at Box Hill. Runs some very super quick times. Won't be quite on the PB, but it's certainly going to be a big effort here. Jack Lund as we go international, as he's in good shape. Won't be too far off it either. 148, Goff, another big run for him. 150, then Stevens, Scott and Mathis. And Geordie Hall round out our men's A 800 metres. Official times on the men's A 800 metres. Jack Lund taking out the win, 148.77. Matthew Goff, 151.19 in second position. And 152.02 for Jake Stevens in third. And that's the men's A 800. Next event on the track will be our 1500s. So if we could have Tess and also Jack over to the presentation area for our 800 metre presentations. If Jack Lund could just make his way to the presentation area adjacent to the finish line, that would be appreciated. So if we can now have Jack and also Tess Kersop-Cole into the presentation area. There for Sanford. 8:30 on the clock now, so we're opening our competition tonight. World record, unofficially 8:36 thereabouts. The B team, 45-second mark, and a big, strong finish here for Mitch Wilson. So a well-judged race to him. 53 club, pick up the right trophy, please. It is the women's 800 metres. And the recipient today, in a great run, it is Tess Kersop-Cole from Geelong Guild Athletic Club. So congratulations, Tess. Kersop-Cole will take it. Landon holding. So next event on the track will be 640, and that will be our first of the 1500s, the men's F1500, scheduled to commence at 6:40, so just under 10 minutes' time. 8:30 on the clock now, so we're opening our competition tonight. World record, unofficially 8:36 thereabouts. The B team, 1.5-second mark, and a big, strong finish here for Mitch Wilson. So a well-judged race to him. 53. It's going to be about a 55, I'd say it will be. That's a good time. So Cole will take it. Landon holding on beautifully. 1:59, 2 minutes now. Going to see some good times here as they approach Nationals. 2:03. Landon will hold on times. Won't be quite on the PB, but it's certainly going to be a big effort here. Jack Lunn, as we go into Nationals, he's in good shape. Won't be too far off at either. 1:48 Goff. Just a reminder that the canteen is open and also the pizzas available. So around 5 minutes now until the start of our next event, and we can see Jack Lunn making his way over to the presentation area. Just been behind the pizza van developing a new topping. Go back to the presentation area, and he's now in condition to accept the trophy. So Once again, Jeremy Griffith presenting the 800-metre men's trophy to Jack Lund from St Kevin's, winning the A race in a time of 1:48.77. So well done, Jack. Great racing here once again at the Box Hill track, and great to have your support here at the Box Hill Classic. And good luck for the Nationals campaign. Let's now go to the 1500 metre action. Our F race on the line and under starters' orders. We do have 13 starters. Harry Lynn is in station 2. In 3, Paris Gadsden from Melbourne University. Then we have Jasper Bignall in 4. In station 5, Marcus Bourne. Daniel Ball is in 6. From Doncaster, Naveed Rashid is in station 7. Station 9 from Melbourne University is Dustin Bianaki. In 10 from Athletics Chilwell, it's Ranveer Cambo. In 11 from Diamond Valley, Jordan Rudd. In 12 from Wormstown, Reece Kane. In 13 from Yarra Rangers, Mitchell Poynton. In 14 from Melbourne University, Tony Brain. And in station 15 is Anthony Swan. They're the 13 starters in the men's F 1500 metres. So a bit of a breeze blowing across the ground here at Haganara Reserve. So a little bit of a cross breeze rather than truly down the home straight or back straight. As we see the runners start to get in order now in this men's F 1500 metres. So Gadsden in the Melbourne University uniform is up there early. Just trying to get fix on the young man leading as they come through. And it's Daniel Ball leading the way. The 2 Melbourne Uni runners there, Dustin Bianaki, also up there, Kane in next position with the young man from Yarra Rangers, which is Mitchell Poynton. So Jordan Rudd from Diamond Valley just going through as well. He runs around the 5:20 mark, I think, in this event. But it's Dustin Ball leading the way as they start to settle down in the first about 1,500 metres through the 400 metre mark. So no change out front. Ball leads, Bianaki, also Gadsden, our 2 Melbourne University runners, just sitting in nicely. But that is allowing to do the second chase pack. I think that is Kane and also Poynton. They're now starting to make up the ground. And I think we're going to have a group of 5 before too long. So the pace is easing out front, allowing the chasers to start to come through. And is Reece Kane. Also Mitchell Poynton in next position. Then Jesper Bignell. Anthony Swan next. Marcus Bourne. Then we've got Harry Lynn. Jordan Rudd coming through now as well. Tony Brain in next position. Naveed Rashid. Also Ranveer Cambo. That's the order. So out front, it is the young man from Williamstown taking the lead here. So Reece Kane. He's certainly shaken up the pace here, and it is the other youngster who are in that chase pack. And now we're seeing our original leader starting to respond here, and that's Daniel Ball. So Ball deciding he wants to get back in towards the lead pack, but Reece Kane just setting a very nice pace there. They bridge that gap beautifully on that second lap. As they come through to get the bell, it will be Kane leading. Ball coming back into the picture again, though. He's gone to the outside, but you still have Poynton in second position. The inside of Ball, you still have Biernacki. Gadsden now going wide as they start to set themselves up for that last lap. So Kane leading. Gadsden the next one to make a move. His teammate Biernacki now starting to go with him, just clocking off his lap split. Poynton and then Ball next in order, but it's Gadsden, the Melbourne University runner, going through. Swan and Bourne and Bignell now coming through. Then Harry Lynn. He's got one lap to go at 3:50. So Jordan Rudd, he'll be next, but down the back straight, it is Gadsden and Biernacki. It's the battle of the Melbourne Uni runners at the moment. Ball charging forward once again. He's a never-say-die athlete, this one. And Ball and Kane having a nice little stoush. But now it's Biernacki's turn to take the lead. So this has been a very entertaining race here in the F1500 metres. And I think it might be Dustin Biernacki from Melbourne Uni just starting to really charge away from the field. Kane and Ball, they're swapping positions once again. It's really good, exciting stuff out there at the moment in this F race, because we're going to see a clear leader here. I can't see him being run down at all. Dustin Biernacki from Melbourne University charging ahead to win the F race. But it's really on now for the second, third and fourth. And I think Kane's back in the picture. Gadsden races again. This is on. Battle of wills here. But Gadsden, he'll take it. So some great times. 4:50 there for Gadsden and Kane. Great running from Ball. Poynton put himself out there. Bourne just coming over the top of Swan in the final stages, right on the 5-minute mark. And young Jesper Bignell. It's been a regular at the Box Hill Meets, Milers Club, also the White Horse Classic as well. It's great to see Jesper getting a lot of competition up, and 5:12 will be his finish time. Harry Lynn comes through now. So Lynn will be through next. And one of our para-athletes here, great running, Jordan Rudd. So took out quite a few championships at the Victorian State Champs only a few weekends ago. And Rudd finishes another race, 5:30 thereabouts. And one of our very regulars here, Naveed Rashid, another big performance for him. He'll stop the clock around the 5:40 mark, maybe just under. And Tony Brain, master coach from Melbourne University, he'll be next one to finish. He'll be well under that 6-minute mark. And let's get behind our final finisher here. Ranveer Cambo from Athletics Chilwell. And that's our field, all under the 6-minute mark there in the men's F, 1,500 metres. So next event on the track will be the men's E1500 metres. We have 12 starters. Mason Woodward from Bendigo University is in 1. Patrick Nichols from Melbourne Uni is in 2. In 4, we have from Athletics Essendon, Riley Walsh. Aidan Ford from Keilor St Bernard's is in Station 5. James Gibbs, Glenn Huntley is in 6. From Athletics Chilwell, Raj Cambo is in Station 7. Jerry Eng from Melbourne University is in 8. In 10, we have Kai Harris from Yarra Rangers. From Western Athletics, Aidan Muscat in 11. In 12, Bailey Van Burt from Yarra Rangers. In 13, from Glenn Huntley, Liam Michelle. Also from Glenn Huntley in Station 14. And rounding out our field, Charlie Sutherland. They're our 12 starters in the men's E1500. So a good start here. We're watching for the likes of Jerry Eng stepping out in the Melbourne University uniform to lead the way. Also up there we should be seeing Riley Walsh from Essendon. Another one of the top seeds, Aidan Ford from Keilor St Bernard's, but it's Bendigo University uniform in Mason Woodward leading the way. So already setting the charge out there. Riley Walsh in the chase position. You can see Eng just dropping back into 4th position at the moment. So off to a reasonably good start here. We're seeing seed times at around the 4:30s through to about 4:50 in this event. 4:30 is 72 seconds per lap. So we'll keep an eye as they go through the start position to see how Mason Woodward from Bendigo University is setting the pace here. So Woodward, Walsh, Patrick Nichols in next position, then Eng, and then one of our top seeds there, Aidan Ford in next position. Michelle sitting in the middle of the pack, and then the other 2 Glenn Huntley runners there, Charles Sutherland being one of them, and also James Gibbs in next order. So quick start, 66 thereabouts. So it's he's got a seed time of 4:41, but currently you've got Mason Woodward sitting on around 4:10 pace. That's how quick they're going out front. And we're seeing the Keilor St Bernard's runner there, Aidan Ford, now starting to step forward and working with Walsh. So Patrick Nichols also looking good. He's got a 4:32 to his name, so he should be up there. And Eng, his teammate, just sitting behind him. So lead group of 5 there. Looks like Woodward just starting to slow a little bit as we see Ford coming on to the outside of him. Walsh quite happy to sit in that next position. And we're seeing Michelle deciding he wants to try and get into that lead punch if he can. So Woodward's still leading, but I think the pace has gone off. They were on around 4:10 pace. As I said, 4:30s are the top seeds in this event, and that's 72-second laps. So the young man from Yarra Rangers, Kai Harris, also getting onto the back of Michelle there. Gap then to Gibbs, Sutherland. Bailey Van Burt in next position. Then we have Muscat and also Cambo. They're having a nice little battle at the rear of the field. So approaching that 800-metre mark now. So this will be interesting. It should be, yeah, it's definitely dropped off. About 2:22 through the 800. So they're on the sub 4:30, but I think someone's got to take the lead if they want to get the sub 4:30s, because the pace has dropped remarkably from that first lap. And it is Ford from Keilor St Bernard's who is the one to take the lead. So they've got to get into the concentration lap here. Lap number 3, this is where they've got to do the work to get on target times. And we're seeing a nice little move there. I'll try and pick that up. I think it is the young man from Yarra Rangers there. And that is Kai Harris. That was a good move by him just to get onto the outside of Eng and get ahead of Nichols as they come through. Maybe a little bit of a breeze coming into the home straight now as they approach the bell. So it's Ford and also Walsh. They're leading. Now, previous leader Woodward sitting back on the rails, and we're seeing the Yarra Rangers runner there in Harris. Also Eng, Nichols and Woodward together. Gap then to Michelle, then Gibbs, Sutherland, Van Burt. And then we're seeing Muscat just getting a little bit of a break on Cambo as they come in towards the bell. But out front, it's a few of our top seeds, joined by Harris. Well, he's got a 4:30 to his name as well. So it is the runners we'd expect to be out there leading at the moment. And Walsh looking good as he starts to broach that gap. But gee, Ford decides, no, it's time to go again. So a little double kick there from Aidan Ford from Keilor St Bernard's. So 200 out from him, 352. And Ford going nicely. Harris just getting to the outside there. So it's coming together again as Walsh now showing a little bit of strength as he comes around the last bend. I think this is going to be on. 3 young men really duking it out here as they come into this final straight. It is a battle of wills. It's a battle of strength. And it's Walsh from Essendon, Keelis and Burton's Ford, and the young man Harris. What a good run there. So 4:24, 4:25 thereabouts. Engel come through under the 4:30 mark. He'll be happy with that. Liam Michelle, good run from him. That's much better than his seed time. Then Nichols, Gibbs, Van Burt, Woodward. Sutherland comes through. He'll be right on the 4:40 mark there for Charlie, and that's under his seed time of 4:44. And looking down the straight, it's on between these two. Let's get behind them. Lots of excitement here in this wrapping up this men's E-race, and I think it'll be Cambo. Will just get the goods over Muscat, but some good running there, both under 5 minutes. So great running, the men's E1500.
Thanks.
Now let's introduce the field, the men's D 1500 metres. We have 13 starters. In Station 1 from Melbourne University, Bryn Lonergan. In 2 from Diamond Valley, Jared Cripps. Station 3 from Melbourne University, it is Tyler Denboa. Station 5, we have Ash Cowan. In 6, Nicholas Blackney. In 7 from Melbourne University, Daniel Sear. In 8 from, it's an invitational once again, Liam Stocky. In 10 from Knox Athletic Club, it's Daniel Malone. In 11 from Old Zaverians, Oliver Evans. Guy Frick from Collingwood Harriers is in 12. Josh Askar from Doncaster in 13. Oliver Vidaic is in 14. And Angus Norman from Yarra Rangers, he is in Station 16. They are our 13 starters in the men's D 1500 metres. So top seeds here around the 4:15 mark, and it's Cripps from Diamond Valley going straight to the lead. You can see Lonergan just sitting back into about 4th or 5th position. You've got the Old Zaverians runner, I think that's Evans, just the outside of him. So Cripps having a good end to his season. Been doing some good runs over the 800. Nice to see him stepping up to the 1500 here tonight. So Jared Cripps just settling in nicely. You can see Malone getting to the outside there. Took out the ambulant 1500 metre open title to Daniel Malone. Ash Cowan, he's sitting in that 2nd position at the moment. Nicely bunched actually. We'll get a bit of a fix as they go through the 400 metres. So 4:15's around the top seed times. So we're looking around that probably 68, 69. and they're going to go through well in advance of that. So going through about 65, 66. So it's actually good pacing at the moment. That's why they're all together and nicely bunched at the moment. So Cripps has now been overtaken. I'll try and get a fix on who that is. There's a few invitational runners in this one. I don't really know. But Cripps now sitting in that third position, but nicely bunched still. And another change of lead. One of the Melbourne University runners, could be Sear, I think, has taken the lead. So good to see them changing position here. So as they're feeling strong, they're taking their move or making their moves out front to keep that pace rolling along. So if they want the 4:15, they've got to keep that first lap pace going. And it is Daniel Sear. And then we've got Oliver Verdaic, Malone, Cripps, then Denbower in next position. Doncaster runner there is Josh Askar, had a good season as well. Gap then Lonergan to Frick. And then from Yarra Rangers we've got Angus Norman. But out front, Sear going through 2:14 thereabouts. So really consistent pacing there, Daniel Sear. We've seen him actually run some very good milers clubs this year. He knows how to race. And it's Daniel Malone who's now setting out as part of the chase pack. I'd watch for Askar as well in the Doncaster uniform because he does move nicely through the mid-stages. Ash Cowan also still sitting up there in a position in the blue. Denbower also in the action. His teammate Lonergan up there as well. Oliver Verdaic, don't know much about that one. He comes in with a seed time of 4:15. So he does have a bit of toe. The Collingwood Harrier there. I think Frick's made his way into that chase pack as well at the rear end of it. Malone leading the way. Askar in the second behind him. But it is Daniel Sear. He's got the Melbourne Uni cheer squad really going for him here. So let's 64. I think, 304 through the bell. I think Sear's setting himself up for a sub 4:15 here. The chase pack they're really going to have to deliver if they want to get around that time. So Cripps coming through. Norman in next position. Then we have our clutch of old Zavarians, which includes Oliver Evans, and also I believe we've got in there Blackney as well. But out front, it's all Daniel Sear. But now we're seeing a move. Guy Frick's the one who's come from right at the back of that pack. I called him late into the chase pack, and now it's Frick gone past Malone. Lonergan starting to wind it up here as well. The Melbourne Uni cheer squad would love to see a 1-2 here for the club, but Frick might sort of destroy that little party. But I've seen Lonergan really going for it here. Sear, I think, is starting to tighten up as he comes into the home straight, and he's got two men charging at him. So Sear leading 100 out, 3:57 on the clock. Lonergan, there will be a 1-2 for Melbourne Uni. What's the order going to be? That's the interest. Sear is in the lead, but Lonergan comes at him, and Sear looks to his side and lets him pass. But gee, 4:10, Frick, big run from him. Then we've got Cowan, Malone 4:15, Askar, also Denbower. Now we've got Verdaic coming across, followed by Norman and Cripps. But gee, Bryn Lonergan, what a run. So Cripps will finish just under the 4:30. Then we got Oliver Evans. So Stocky. Also Blackney. So it rounds out our field there. Some good running in the men's D. But Bryn Lonergan takes it out from the teammate. Around the 4:10 mark. So some good times there in the men's D 1500 metres. Ten starters in the women's C 1500 metres, and they are in Station 1 from Ringwood, Ruby Baxter. Station 2 from Bendigo University, Ebony Woodward. In 3 from Coburg Harriers, Poppy O'Loughlin. In 4, we have Matisse Stafford. In 5, from Glen Huntly, it's Poppy Donaldson. In 6, also from Glen Huntly, it's Ruby Donaldson. In 8 from the invitational runner is Marianne McSweeney. Georgia Pounding from Olds of Arians is in 9. Ruby Ellis from Essendon in 10. And Rhiannon White is in 11. So they're our 10 starters in the women's C 1500 metres. So a fairly fast start here. I reckon that might be Lachlan leading the way at the moment. She's in second, then Donaldson. So just trying to identify our leader as they come round. White in that next position. So the gaps are already forming here in this women's C race. As our leader does get them off to a fairly rapid start here. So seed times here, the best seed times around the 5:10 mark. So that's a bit over 80 seconds per lap. So they're through the 200, relatively quickly. As we're seeing O'Loughlin doing the chase. And our leader is Matisse Stafford. So Stafford through in 53. So Matisse Stafford leading the way. So Matisse Stafford through 72, so she's on 4:30 pace. So that's the pace out front at the moment. Lachlan having to be a bit careful not to be drawn into that pace too early. Then the first of the Donaldson twins is coming through next. And I think that might be Ruby. So nice bunch in the chase there. White sitting in 4th position, the Eureka athlete. Then we have some nice bunching going on. That includes McSweeney, also Donaldson. Pounding going to the outside now in the Old Severians uniform. Woodward also up there, the Bendigo University athlete. But out front, she's an invitational athlete, and I don't know the name, so we don't know the form on this one, but she's looking pretty solid out front. So Matisse Stafford coming through to get 2 laps to go. Still looking strong. Good rhythm, holding herself up beautifully. Gap then to Poppy O'Loughlin from Coburg. So O'Loughlin next run through. Then there's Ruby Donaldson, Rhiannon White, Marianne McSweeney, Poppy Donaldson, Georgia Pounding. Then we got Ruby Ellis, then Woodward, and Ruby Baxter in that order. So 2:33, 34 possibly through. So a little bit slowing on that second lap, but still a big lead here for Matisse Stafford. She's got a good maybe 55 to 60 metres now over O'Loughlin. Donaldson, I think, just starting to bridge that gap. And now we're seeing McSweeney dragging Poppy Donaldson along, but Poppy deciding it's her turn to take the lead as they charge down towards Rhiannon White. But out front, our leader, she's out big time here. Can she hold it on for that last lap and a bit? So approaching the 1 kilometre mark now. So approximately 3:14, 3:15. That's a good opening K. 500 out now for Matisse Stafford. So really putting it out there early. So we're going to see a time. So the seed time is 5:10. She's going to be well and truly under that 5-minute mark. I can't see her slowing down much at all. She's still looking very composed and very controlled. 1 lap out. Let's get behind her. Matisse Stafford, new on the scene here, and she is motoring along beautifully. So Ruby Donaldson's now joining Poppy O'Loughlin with 1 lap out. White in next position. And Poppy Donaldson, Marianne McSweeney, Georgia Pounding, one of our great ambulant para runners here in Victoria. And through the 1200, 3:58 for Stafford though. She's out by about probably 80 metres now. So nice little grouping with Alice, Baxter, also Woodward, as they're going through in under 4:10 at the bell. But out the front, 200 out now, Matisse Stafford. Hopefully we're going to see a lot more of this young lady at middle distance events in Victoria, because she certainly is showing fine form here this evening. Going to be interesting, the battle of the twins here, because I'm seeing Poppy Donaldson starting to now move into second position. Ruby just has a poke around the shoulder. She probably heard that and thought, gee, no, I still want to be the number one twin here on the track. And she starts to move it forward again. But let's get behind Matisse Stafford. This has been very impressive. Running solo, she went out hard, thought that might have been too hard. But look at the finish form. This young lady is moving. So going to be under the 5-minute mark. So well done, Matisse. What a run from you. So stopping the clock around 4:57. White's back in the picture here because we've got Donaldson, and that is Ruby Donaldson in the next position. White charging down at her, and then Poppy in a next position. But Ruby will take it. Then it will be Rhiannon. Poppy in next position. Then the other Poppy, Lachlan. And big run from McSweeney there. Georgia pounding, always smiling as she goes across the line. Big run from Georgia from Old Zavarians. Baxter, Ruby Baxter from Ringwood. She'll take that next position. Ebony Woodward and also Ruby Alice. They will conclude our field here in the women's C1500. Some good times here, all of them well under that 5:40 mark.
Okay, starting from the top. 4, 6, 11, 5, 3, 8, 9, 1, 2, 10. 12 and 7 would be NS's. Very good.
We'll introduce the field now for the men's C1500 metres. There'll be 15 starters. And they are in station 2 from Old Scotch, Nathan Munro. In 3 from Collingwood Harriers, Xavier Mead. Daniel Cheeba Lynch lines up in 4 from St Stephen's. Lachlan Marasco from Doncaster in 5. Liam Hanrahan, Ballarat Harriers. He is in station 6. Station 7, James Fallon from Sandringham. From Yarra Rangers, Max Saville Bentley is in 8. Oscar O'Connor from Doncaster in 9. Will Lovett, Old Zavarians in 10. In 11, Andrew McIntosh from Collingwood Harriers. In 12, we've got John Kuol. In 13, Will Lindsay. In 14, from Box Hill, Samuel Rattray. In 15, from Mornington Peninsula, Kai Davies. And Samuel Lowe from Collingwood Harriers is in 16. So they are starters in the men's C 1500 metres. So Cheeba Lynch and Davies out front. Davies now steps forward and setting a nice pace as they start to settle around the bend for the first time. I think Marasco might be in the next position there. On the inside, Nathan Munro looking quite solid. So the two Doncaster runners running 3 and 4 at the moment as it's Kai Davies from Mornington Peninsula leading the way. So the top seeds here are around the 4:01 mark. Nathan Munro, one of those. We've also got Davies at 4:03. Samuel Lowe from Collingwood up there as well. So Connor sitting nicely. Low to the outside of him. You're seeing the Sandringham runner there, and that's Fallon sitting beautifully on the rails at the moment. Also the man from Ballarat Harriers, Liam Hanrahan, also been regular down here at Box Hill John Kuol, one of the invitational runners, but he is in the Old Zavarians uniform, making a big move down the side and trying to get well amongst the action as they're settling this pace. But Davies doing a great job leading the way. So it's Davies, Chiba Lynch, Marasco. Now Kuol joins the pack. O'Connor just behind him with Munro as well. Sitting in the middle there, quite easy to spot Samuel Lowe in the Collingwood uniform. But this one is, I think it's going to play out beautifully here. A lot of runners still in contention. Kai Davies leading the way. If they feel the pace is dropping, I think we might find a new leader will take over. Bit of a breeze still down here trackside. The conditions relatively good here for this evening's 1500s at the Box Hill Classic for 2022. So Will Lovett from Old Zavarians going in one of those outside positions. Sam Rattray in the pink shorts. Hard to miss him. So Hanrahan just to the rear of him at the moment. But it's still Davies going through the 800. 2:14, so 67s. They're setting up around that 4:10 mark at the moment, I believe. And Munro's the first one to make the big move. So the all red of Old Scotch, he takes the lead. Let's see who responds here. So settles as he gets to the front. Nice move there. Davies just moves forward. Kuol still with him with Chiba Lynch. O'Connor going to the outside of Marasco now. Sorry, technical issue there with microphones as the excitement starts to mount up. And that is not O'Connor. That's our next of our St Kevin's runners there. And that is Will Lindsay. Seen him come in late into this season. But Munro, he's looking strong. He's launched at the bell. Lindsay in next position goes past Davies. Lowe, I think, is ready to pounce as well. Marasco's just to the side of him. And also Lovett from Old Zavarians. But down the back straight, we've seen a good year from Munro so far. Let's see what he can produce here and deliver on this last lap of the 1500. Lindsay, as I said, only seen a lot of him in the last part of the season, but he's been running well. But, gee, that next pack could go again. So Chiba Lynch is the one who wants to go 200 out, taking Lovett with him. Gap then to Marasco, and then Hanrahan in next position. But round the bend they come, and it is Munro from Old Scotch. Came in with a seed time. He's the top seed at 4:01. Time check 3:51. I'm not sure if he's going to get under that 4 minutes this afternoon. That second lap, I think, just eased off the pace a little bit. So it's going to be their wrong side of 4 minutes. But Munro will take the win. Lindsay will be in second. Lovett next. Then Saville Bentley actually comes through for third. Then Lovett, Chiba Lynch, Marasco, Rattray, Hanrahan, Ruol. Then O'Connor. Also Lowe. Then Davies, our early leader. And rounding out the field there, Samuel Lowe's just come through now. So Collingwood Harriers there was Xavier Mead. Called him the wrong one all the way through. Apologies, Xavier.
If you want to stay up to date with the live results as they're happening throughout the 2022 Box Hill Classic, you can see the link there on screen. That's vic.resultshub.com.au. Keep track of the live results and check out the start list as they happen throughout the night. We'll take you back to commentary in stadium from Tim Crosby.
So we have 11 starters in the women's B 1500 metres. In station 1 from Diamond Valley, it's Scott Dalgleish. In 2 from Old Zavarians, Annabelle Coleman. 3 from Yarra Rangers, Zoe Clark. In 5, we have Jamie Wainwright. In 7, Alexandria Anthony. In 8, from Morning Peninsula, Freya Brown. Simone Maladay from Collingwood Harriers is in 9. From Athletics Essendon, Alison Rogers in 10. Her teammate, Emily Mifsud, is in 11. From Mentone, Sarah Hastings in 12. And Cassandra Seepin from Melbourne University is in 13. They're the starters in the women's B 1500 metres. So a fairly even start here. Looks like Seepin might be one of the ones out early. Top seed is around the 450 mark. We're looking at Wainwright being one of those. Also Maladay. And I think she's just to the outside there, running in second position at the moment. Mifsud in next position. Then it is Annabelle Coleman. On the inside there, we've got Anthony in the blue as the lights come on, making my job that little bit easier. So I'd say it's Seepin, Melbourne University. It's the 4:55 seed time. Maladay from Collingwood just to the outside of her. Mifsud content to sit in. So Anthony's in good position on the rails. Hastings to the outside of her with Wainwright, Brown. Also Zoe Clark from Yarra Rangers. Alison Rogers, rear of the field, sitting there with Poppy Scott Dalgleish. So Mifsud deciding she's going to take a little bit of the lead, or get towards the lead, as we see Maladay also going past Seepin. So through the first lap there in 74. So around the 4:40 mark. So they're on good time here. Bit of a gap then to Seepin as we see Wainwright starting to wind it up a little bit. Comes in as one of the top seeds and definitely a very good 800 metre runner. So Jamie Wainwright in the black starting to move forward. But out front, Simone Maladay through the 500 metre mark in 1:35. So Mifsud quite dogged, just staying there. And I'd say Wainwright's going to try and bridge that gap relatively quickly. Next position is Brown in the orange of Mornington Peninsula. Seepin then has Hastings to the rear of her. So Coleman going to the taking the wide line there. And she's got Clark going outside of her as well. So it's Maladay, Mifsud. So Wainwright sitting in third position but striding nicely. Freya Brown now got 10 metres in front of her, 10 metres behind her, and it's Cassandra Seepin leading that next chase group. Clark with her. Coleman to going to the outside, then Hastings, Anthony. Then Rogers, and also Scott Dalgleish. But out front, it's a race in three. They're happy to let Maladay continue to lead this. Mifsud just sticking in there. Wainwright looking good, but approaching the 1 kilometre mark now, and that gap to Brown is now starting to stretch. So I think the lead group are starting to extend out here. So Maladay setting good pace. Mifsud doesn't have to do anything, just hang in there. Same for Wainwright as they approach the 1K. So 1 kilometre now in about 3:14. So we're heading around that maybe 4:50 mark, I think, at the moment for the lead group here. Let's see what they can finish with. So Maladay just stretching out a little bit from Mifsud. Wainwright deciding it's time to go as they hear the bell. Brown in next position. We saw a big last lap from Anthony at the Milers Club. Let's see if she can do the same here again. Relatively new to track racing. So it's Brown, then Anthony, then Coleman, Clark next, then Seepin, Rogers moving through. Then it's Scott Dalgleish and Hastings. But out front, I think a race in two now as we see Jamie Wainwright just motoring forward, about to do the overtaking move on Maladay. But Maladay says, no, you're not. She just starts to stretch it out. And Simone Maladay showing some nice form down the back straight. Good strength there from Simone as Jamie just starts to ease it back. And a big run here That's someone doing their stride out, but it's Anthony who is really striding out as well and probably starting to get a sniff of that third position as you see Mifsud coming back into her sights. But out front, Simone Maladay, Jamie Wainwright. There's a gap of 10 metres as they come into the home straight. So it's Maladay leading. Anthony looking at that third position as well. So the young lady in the Glenn Huntley uniform is motoring home as well. But Simone Maladay did that beautiful move down the back straight when challenged. And Simone Maladay will take this out just over the 440 mark. So a nice finish there for Simone. She'll win it. 444 unofficial. Well, Jamie Wainwright will be happy with that one. And Alex Anthony, she'll take third. 450. Big time for her. Then Mifsud. Freya Brown, Zoe Clark in next position. Brown will take it 455. And then we have Annabelle Coleman. She'll be just right on that 5-minute mark. So good running from her. Then Scott Dalgleish, Rogers, Seepin, Hastings. And that's our women's B 1500 metres.
That was another good one. They should be right. That's good.
Brenton, you want to finish order for event 10?
$15 starters plus pacemaker ready for the men's B 1500 metres here at the Box Hill Classic for 2022. Well, let's scratch the pacemaker as well. All right, so Ethan McMenemy from Western A's, he is in station 1. Stephen Langdon from Melbourne University in 3. Caden Murray, Diamond Valley, is in 4. In 6, we welcome from New South Wales, Michael McKeon. In 7, we have Hamish Bayliss. In 8, from Mentone, Sam Alberson. Finn Russell from Olds Avarians in 9. Sam Bunnage, Mentone, is in 10. In 11, from Western Athletics, Robert Whites. In 12, we have Tom McFarlane. 13 is from Ivanhoe, David Gregg. Paddy Matthews from Skieless and Bernards in 14. Caleb Laker is in 15. Joshua Augustinus from Olds Avarians in 16. And Jordan Mason, Eureka, in 17. They're our starters in the men's B 1500. So McMenemy, probably one of the race favourites. Good to see him back racing in the last part of this season. Finn Russell just to the back of him. Looks like Bayliss is up in the action early, and I think Laker's gone with them as well. Caden Murray in next position. Might be McFarlane sitting there in the Glenn Huntley uniform as well. So McMenemy working his way back into good form as we hit the tail end of the season. And he's setting a nice pace. Finn Russell very happy just to sit there. Lake in next position. Then McFarlane, Bayliss, Augustinus, Murray. Then we have Albiston. Langdon in next position. Mason to the outside of him. Gregg just having a little bit of a to-do there with one of the runners poking himself out. And happy to sit at the back at the moment and avoid all the trouble is Whites. Going through the 400 metres, 61.62. So they're setting this up for well under the 4-minute mark. So we've got a whole clutch of guys who can run between 3:53 and 4 minutes in this race. So the pace is on and a lot will happen over the next 1,000 metres as they hit the 500 metre mark there in about the 78 seconds. Russell's doing a good job just sitting with McMenemy. He doesn't need to do anything, just sit there. Gap then to McFarlane. Alberson, I think, is in next position there on the rails. Laker. So this is going to be a great race. This will be exciting as they start to wind it up, coming through to get 2 to go. But Ethan McMenemy going nicely at the moment. So on the outside there, that's Michael McKeon. So Greg now happy to sit at the back because you don't need to do much. Paddy Matthews is fair way back as well. But as we know, these guys can kick home nicely because the pace has been set beautifully. As they go through the 800, they've dropped a little bit, about 2.6, so there's about a 65 from McMenemy, so drop the pace a little bit there. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody decides to take that lead to try and keep the pace going. Russell and also McFarlane, just they're getting a little break now. McFarlane's got the pace on, but he then decides to just drop back a bit. He had the momentum down the back straight to pass, but didn't take that opportunity. So it's still McMenemy, Russell, McFarlane, Albiston, Langdon in next position. Then McKeon. Caden Murray sitting in beautifully midfield. Bayliss is on the rails at the moment. To the outside, you've also got Bunnage coming home strong as well. And now we're going to see the charges come as they hit the bell. So Sam Albison could be the man to challenge. McFarlane, as I said, he had the momentum earlier and didn't take it. We're still seeing Caden Murray in a good slot as well. Didn't go out too hard in this race, Caden. He might have a finish. Bunnage just behind him. McKeon there, also Bayliss, Augustinus. Whites has moved through, then Matthews. So out front now, it is Albison and Russell. Russell's had a few wins late in the season, but McMenemy's back in the pace as well. So that McMenemy retakes the lead. He did lose it, now he's back out there again. So even McMenemy, he takes the charge out front. McMenemy, Russell, now we're seeing a charge. That could be, it's Bunnage, I think, who's taken the next position. So big run there from the Mentone runner. So Albison was one we were thinking at the bell was going to take this, but it is Bunnage who's now going to challenge McMenemy. But I don't think anyone will challenge McMenemy because he's going to win this one quite easily. So time check now, 3:50. So good one there from McMenemy. Big charge home from Matthews, but Bunnage, then it will be McFarlane. Matthews, potentially Whites. Good run from him. So lots of sub-4s there tonight. Laker will round out the field with David Gregg. But nice run, Ethan McMenemy takes out the men's B 1,500 metres. So just another reminder, the pizzas are still cooking over on the far side of the track near the 1,500 metre start, and also the Box Hill canteen is open with drinks and food as well. So please make sure you do get something. Support our club here that does so much for middle distance and distance racing in this state. So get behind the Box Hill Athletic Club and also get behind Frankie's Flaming Pizzas. So we now turn our attention to the back straight, and it is one of the highlight events of the night. It is the women's A 1,500 metres, and there's a lot of cash on offer in this event. We do have 9 starters plus a pacer lining up, and they are in Station 1 from Geelong Guild, Tess Rhodes. In 2, from Bendigo University, Tully Rowe. In 3, Josephine Borthwick. Station 5, from Box Hill, Callie Thackeray. In 6, from Box Hill, Georgia Griffith. 7, from Athletics Essendon, it is Madison Caulfield. In 9, we welcome from Tasmania, Lily Ellis. In 10, from Doncaster, Balafari. 11, from St Stephen's, Brigitte Humphrey. And our pacemaker, Amy Robinson. They're the starters in the women's A 1500 metres.
I really do. Really? Yep.
So back in the starters' hands, unusual for the 1500. And the call is unsteady. So relining up. And away now. So Robinson will do the pacing here. So as I said, quite a bit of cash on line here. As we see, probably a few of the favourites to watch out for will be the Box Hill pairing of Georgia Griffith, the Olympian, over this distance. Also Callie Thackeray, the UK athlete, now running for the Box Hill club. And Robinson just checking that watch as he settles the pace down. But we're going to see some good performances here. So Griffith coming in for seed time of 4:14. From what I've seen of Thackeray over the longer distances, the 5K, I believe that she's probably capable of something similar as well. So as they settle, Robinson looking superb, as she always does, watching the watch. So Amy Robinson leads them nicely. Griffith, Thackeray, then Fari. Caulfield now making the move. Tully Rowe in next position. Then it's the Tasmanian Lily Alice next. So 4:14 probably equates to around the 68-second mark, and I think she's going to have them virtually right on target time there as they go through. Right on 67, 68. So Robinson doing a great job here. As we can see, the field is really starting to form, and Tully Rowe and Balafari, they're the two who are really putting themselves out there, going head-to-head with the Olympian and the UK international runner there, courtesy of Griffith and Thackeray. Caulfield, we've seen just improve race by race by race in this season after a bit of a comeback, and now we're just seeing that gap to Fari and Rowe just starting to form. The Tasmanian, I believe, is in next position. We'll clarify that as they come round. And it is Amy Robinson still leading the way. Georgia Griffith with her. Caulfield, I think, will just have to really work to stay on the back of the Box Hill pairing, and Rowe now takes that next position. So coming through, 2 laps to go. We're seeing Thackeray just coming to the outside and actually taking over the pace from Robinson. So Callie Thackeray, brilliant 5,000 metres not so long ago. She's 2 laps out here and really enjoying that pace. The Tasmanian Alice is now starting to bear down. Rhodes, Humphrey in a next position. And then we have Borthwick. But out front, Thackeray leads the pacemaker Robinson. They're through 800 in 2:20, so that did drop a little bit on the second lap, hence why Thackeray decided it's time to go. She's trying to push forward. Robinson now out. Caulfield clearly now in third position. Back to Rowe, Fari, and then Alice. But out front, it's our 2 Box Hill runners, Thackeray, and it is Griffith going head-to-head now. Gap too big now for Caulfield. I think it'll be a race in 2 as they approach that 1 kilometre mark. So hitting 1K in around 2:55. So this will be a reasonably good time, mid 4:20s, probably low 4:20s potentially. We're going to see a nice kick down because the race is on. Race in 2 at the moment, 15-metre gap to Caulfield, another 20 back to Rowe. They hit the bell. Thackeray leads Griffith, the Olympian. So approaching 1,200 metres now. Thackeray, Griffith, Caulfield, Rowe, Fari, Alice, then Humphrey, Rhodes and Borthwick. Down the back straight, we've seen the big move from Georgia Griffith though. Home track hero here. We've seen her do some amazing stuff on this track here at Haganau Reserve. We're going to see something similar here at the Box Hill Classic. I was saying low 420 seconds. She's going to go well under that. Comes in with a 4:14 seed time. And as we come round the bend the last time, we're going to see Georgia Griffith really turn this on in this last lap. So big kick home from Griffith. She'll take the win here in the 1500A race for women. Big run from Thackeray. Been doing so well over the 5,000 and 3,000. But Georgia Griffith, look at the time here. She's absolutely crunched it, 4:12. So the Olympian, she shows her stuff here. Great running from Thackeray, though. She'll be under 4:20. So good run, good winning times here. Maddie Caulfield, she'll be well under that 4:30 mark, and her season continues to improve. 4:26 there for Caulfield. Tully Rowe hangs on beautifully here. Humphrey in next position. But Tully Rowe, she'll be in around 4:36 thereabouts. So good run from her. Bridge Humphrey, she'll be right on the 4:40 mark. Balafari, so brave early. She'll stop the clock at 4:43. And then we have the Tasmanian Alice. Rhodes in next position. Then Borthwick. And that's the field, the women's A 1500, taken out by Georgia Griffith. Let's move on now. The men's A 1500 metres. We do have 12 starters plus pacemaker, and they are Liam Cashin in Station 1 from Western Athletics. In 3 from South Australia, we welcome Dylan Krenchek. In 4, the Victorian State Champion, representing St Kevin's, it's Will Lewis. In 6, also from St Kevin's, it is Sam McEntee. In 7, the Victorian Mile Champion, representing Western Athletics, Matthew Hussey. In 8, from Old Scotch, Edward Baisha. In 9, we also welcome from South Australia, Isaac Hain. In 10, from Casey Gdynia, Lachlan Hurd. In 11, representing Old Melburnians, Alex Gruen. In 12, it is Dale Carroll. In 13, from Queensland, it's Callum Davies. In 14, from Queensland, the Australian under-20 3,000 metre record holder, Jude Thomas. They are our starters in the men's A 1500 metres. So once again, good money on offer here in this 1500 metres. Our pacemaker gets them out beautifully, that opening 100 metres as they start to settle and stretch across the track. Looks like McEntee, the man who's going to take it out, the one who took out the 5,000 metres here just a few weeks ago at the White Horse Classic. And Sam McEntee looking good as they start to settle in this event. We'll watch out for Thomas. 3:49 his seed time. Also Lewis ran a brilliant 3:45 not so long ago. Hussey in there. Davies, one of our favourites. So Thomas up there. Hain going to the outside. He's in the fluoro yellow. Easy to spot here in the darkness of the Box Hill Athletic Track. Hussey sitting in about that 4th, 5th position. Hain to the outside of him. Lewis, the Victorian 1500 champion. What a classic race that was between him and Hussey. Hussey taking out the mile championship over Huffer. But it is McEntee just sitting beautifully off the pacer. Callum Davies, the shorter figure in the maroon uniform, and he is the Queenslander. Jude Thomas next. Then it's Hussey and Hayne. Gap to Lewis. So it's a nice straight line. Didn't get the 400 split, but this race will be on. We'll have a look at that 800, also the 1K, and we'll get some good indications of how they're travelling. So let's see if we can get around that low 340s, if not under here. Perfect conditions. The wind has virtually dropped here at Box Hill, as we're seeing the pacemaker just lead them through beautifully, 144. So Hurd in next position. Then we got Cashin, Baisha also up there. So nice grouping out front, and McEntee and Davies being paced beautifully at the moment, and they're going through 159. So they're on 345 pace at the moment through the 800. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a kick-down race. With the talent and the quality out front, I think they might be doing a bit of a negative split on this one. The pace is going beautifully now. McEntee is out in front. So it's McEntee and Davies. Hussey in next position, Hayne to the outside of him. Then Thomas. Then Lewis, and Hurd is in contact with that lead bunch. Gap then to Baisha. So going through the 1K now, 232. So just around, or maybe 231. They're right on the 345. But as I said, they're going to hear that bell, and you're going to see some guys absolutely go for this. There's so many in contention, and Lewis is one of those as he goes to the outside. 245 at the bell. It is on. Gap to Baisha. Then we've also got, we'll miss that one, I think. But anyway, out front we have Callum Davies make his traditional move, and Hussey's gone with him. So through the 1200, it's Davies, Hussey. Thomas now making his charge. Hayne just to the outside of McEntee as they go down. Lewis, I'm not sure if he can do much from there. But it's Hussey and Callum Davies going for it. Hussey to the outside. Thomas is looking dangerous as well. But Callum Davies got a nice little double kick there, and he starts to really wind it up. Gap then between 3 and 4. Hayne just starting to go back, and it looks like it might be Lewis coming to the outside of him with his teammate in McEntee. Into the home straight. Callum Davies knows how to win a race. Will he take another one here at Box Hill? Jude Thomas coming home strong. You can't go past Davies, so the Queenslander will take another one right on 340. 41 Thomas in second. Great run Hussey, McEntee, Lewis. Hurd just to the inside there of Hayne. Then Cashin, Baisha. Then we've got Krenchek and Gruen. What a great 1,500 metres. Good win there. And great run, Callum Davies taking another win. And we'll 3 runners from that event to come through to presentations when they are ready. So 3:41.71 official winning time there, Callum Davies, the men's 1,500. And we will be doing presentation top 3 of the women and top 3 of the men. So those guys can start to make their way across. So Jude as well, and Callum and Huss.
running, guys. All right, we ready? You've got a great choice, haven't you?
Yeah, I know. Charles presenting the girls.
What are you doing first? Yeah, girls first. Ladies first.
So let's go back to the presentations, and we will go back to our female 1500 metres. So girls, let's get in front of the Athletics International banner. So big thank you to Athletics International for their support of this event, also the Box Hill Athletic Club. And let's go to the presentation for our women. In third position, in a time of 4:27.42 from Athletics Essendon, Madison Caulfield. Presentations to be made by the very, very great Lachlan Rayner. In second position, in a time of 4:19.28 from Box Hill Athletic Club, Callie Thackeray. And a winner tonight in that smoking last lap in a time of 4:13.12, Georgia Griffith. So congratulations to Madison, Callie and Georgia, the winners, or the top three in the women's 1500 here at the Box Hill Classic.
Maybe one the other side.
So once again, big thank you, former Australian 800 metre record holder Lachlan Rayner, for being involved in presentations in our women's 1500. And we'll now turn our attention to the men's 1500 metres. So we now turn our attention to the presentation for the men's 1500 race. In third place, in a personal best of 3:42.69, representing Western Athletics, it is Matthew Hussey. Marion O'Shaughnessy to do the presentations from Athletics International. In second position, also in a personal best of 3:42.41 from Queensland, Jude Thomas. And our winner, he loves a win. We've seen him win so often here in Victoria. In a time of 3:41.71 from Queensland, Callum Davies. So congratulations to Matt, Jude and Callum. The top three in the men's 1500 here at the 2022 Box Hill Classic. Now, if we could have assistance with lap scorers for the 3,000 metres, please. If lap scorers could come down and help us out. So if you want to assist in getting the program underway, we do need some lap scorers to jump over the fence. So they're lining up ready now for the women's A 3,000 metres. Let's introduce our field. In station 1 from Tasmania, we welcome Ebony Webb. In 3 from Bendigo University, Nicolette Lesberg. Stephanie Condigonis from Box Hill is in 4. Rosie Donegan from Melbourne University in 5. Cara Foote from Collingwood Harriers in 6. Jessica Jason from Deakin in 7. Lydia Renato from Doncaster in 8. Andrea de Jong from St Stephen's is in 9. Neve Tabbott Coburg in 10. In 12 we have Julianne Undrell from Collingwood Harriers. In 14, Matilda Lestrange from Diamond Valley. Saskia Lloyd St Stephen's in 15. Amy McCormick, Melbourne Uni in 16. Also from Melbourne Uni, Alexandra Bucky Smith in 17. Molly Ryger from Sandringham in 19. And Olivia Twining, the Yarra Rangers, is in 20. We still require a couple more lap scorers before we can fire the gun. So if someone could come across and help us tonight, please. We need 2 more lap scorers before we can get this women's A 3,000 metres underway. So if you have a runner in the field, please come and help us. So underway now, women's A 3,000 metres. As they emerge from the darkness, we'll start to do a call on who the field is. As we see one bolter already getting out. So 9:30 top seed, and that's Rosie Donegan, and that is Rosie Donegan leading the way. Saw it running at the Melbourne Track Classic last Saturday evening. Also the Victorian 3,000 metre steeplechase champion this year, and Donegan has come here and she means business over 3,000 metres. She'll be heading to the National Championships to compete in that 3,000 steeple, as we see Tabbott in next position. Then Ryger, Condigonis, Jason. Next position there, we have Ebony Webb, our Tasmanian. Renato. Also on the inside there, it is Saskia Lloyd. To the outside of her is Lesberg. But out front, Rosie Donegan already out by 20 metres. So the young lady who qualified for the World Championships in the 3,000 metre steeple unfortunately couldn't take her position in that championship due to injury, but she's back in form and starting to really work back into the season here as we go towards the National Championships in Sydney next week. So Rosie Donegan through the 400, about 70. She's just over 9 minutes schedule at the moment. So Donegan's certainly working her way nicely out front of this 3,000 metres. As I said, nice little hit out, well timed with the National Championships not too far away. And Donegan back from the States in Australia now, hopefully for good. And the young lady in the Melbourne University colours certainly looking very, very composed as she comes through to get 6 laps to go. So next position, Jess Jason, the Western Australian. Tabbott just behind her. Then the Tasmanian Webb. Condigonis. Saw Condigonis run so well over 10,000 metres at Essendon just last month. Ryger, Renato, Lesberg, Bucky Smith, Saskia Lloyd. Also Undrell. But out front, Donegan going through, heading towards the 800 metre mark. So we'll get a good check as she comes round on this next lap. That'll be the 1 kilometre mark. So the 3K, brilliant event, good one for pacing, just solid opening first K, grind out the second and then rocket home on the third K. As we're seeing, Jess Jason just starting to get it away a little bit from in that second pack. Tabit, also Webb and Condigonis in next order. But Rosie Donegan coming through now, approaching the 1 kilometre mark. So Donegan, two-time world mountain running representative for Australia. Getting very high placing in the 2012 championships in Albania, if my memory serves me correct. But through in about 3:08. So she's on sub 9:30 pace at the moment, Rosie Donegan. Jason next, 3:17. So then you've got the 10-minute pack going through right now. 3:20 is 10 minutes schedule. So Cara Foote just ahead there of DaCosta Alves, I think it is. But out front, Rosie Donegan, 1,200 metres in, 3:46. So Jason, I think Condigonis might have been the one to make the next move. So Tabit now in 5th position. Webb, the Tasmanian, in 4th. But Donegan coming through now. She'll be facing 4 laps to go. So Condigonis made a good move there to get onto the back of Jason. So Webb and Tabit working together. So Donegan still moving nicely, 4 to go. Jason, Condigonis, Webb, Tabit. Ryger and Renato working together as well. Lloyd leading the next bunch. That has Lesberg in it. Twining to the rear of that pack with Undrell. Bucky Smith sitting right in the middle. So it's Lloyd, Lesberg, Bucky Smith, Twining, Undrell. Then Foote. Then De Jong. And Matilda Lestrange. So all runners now into the last mile. So it's 1,600, sorry. Yeah, 1,600 metres now done by Rosie Donegan, 1,400 to go. As we're seeing a nice run there by Condigonis and also Jason working well together. The gap then to 4th and 5th is starting to grow. So Donegan coming through. This will be 3 laps out, 1,200. We'll get the 2K split as she goes round the back straight. But Jason and Condigonis not too far behind. The gap not really getting any larger at the moment. So as we said, Rosie's probably on just under that 9:30 pace. Jason and Condigonis. Webb. Tabit, Renato. Big run from Ryger, the young girl from Sandringham. So Molly's going along quite nicely at the moment. 1,200 out. But down the back straight, we have Rosie Donegan approaching the 2 kilometre mark. So 2.5 laps out when she goes past that barrier. So Donegan clocking 2K in approximately 6:22. So the pace going along nicely. Right on just a tick over now, a shade over that 9:30. Let's see if she can close strongly, particularly when she hears the sound of that bell. We'd like to see her around the 9:30 mark here for 3,000 metres tonight. So Rosie Donegan coming through now, home straight to get 2 laps to go. Jason and Condigonis still locked together. The same for Webb and also Tabit. Renato now getting a little bit away from Ryger, and that other bunch still sticking beautifully together. Undrell being challenged at the rear of that pack. But Rosie Donegan 2 out. So 800 metres to go. On around 9:30 schedule at the moment. Condigonis deciding she's not going to do any of this work because Jess Jason is doing such a good job of just leading them through lap by lap. So Jason, Condigonis right with her. Tabit and Webb in next position. Then Renato running nicely in the Doncaster uniform. Ryger from Sandringham in next position. So 2 laps out for Tabbitt. Ryger holding on beautifully. Now the pack. Twining's having a good season this year. Now she's moving up to Lesberg. Bucky Smith's got the beautiful sit there. Saskia Lloyd now in next position. Then Undrell, Foot, and also De Jong working forward. And then Matilda Lestrange. So no change between Jason and Condigonis. That's where a lot of the interest is as they go into the last 600 metres. So 500 out now for Rosie Donegan. She's at 2.5. Time check just over 8 minutes. So looking back down the field, and looks like Tabbitt's just getting away a little bit from Webb. Renato starting to bridge that gap. Ryger holding on strong. Lesberg still leading that next pack. She's got Bucky Smith and also Twining with her. Down the back straight into the darkness. But 1 to go for Rosie Donegan. So back straight crowd, get behind Rosie. She goes past you. And the big battle here for second and third is on because Jason has not been able to drop Condigonis. They're through 8.36 at the 1 lap to go. Tabbitt in next position with Webb. Renato's doing really well. Gee, I'm impressed by Ryger tonight as well. The young lady from Sandringham stepping up to the 3K and doing so nicely here. Just tracking along behind Renato as they both come down to get the bell. But down the back straight, 200 out now, Rosie Donegan. Let's be behind her. Bucky Smith decides to launch. He's gone past Twining. Lesberg being challenged. Then Lloyd, Undrell, De Jong and Foot. So Rosie Donegan rounding the bend now. Lestrange into the home straight, but Rosie Donegan, she'll be our winner here in the 3,000 metres for women A race at the Box Hill Classic for 2022. Let's get behind her. Just going to be right on that 9:30 mark. So Lestrange goes through 9:30 now, but big run from Rosie Donegan. She took command right from the start. Impressive running there. She's won by about 90 metres as we see the battle on Jess Jason and Condigonis. Who's going to take it? It's really happening here. Jason on the inside, I think will maintain that position. 9:48 for her. Same for Condigonis. Big run for Steph. As we look down and see Tabbitt with a traditional strong finish here, but she won't get under that 10-minute mark. So Neve Tabbitt, she'll take that 4th position, just over 10. Webb from Tasmania, good to see her over here. A couple of races under about now in Victoria. And Ebony Webb, she will come through on about 10:10 with Ryger. As I said, impressed by this one. Came over the top of Renato on the last lap. So 10:15 for Molly. And that's a massive PB for her. So Renato next one through. Then Twining just overtakes Bucky Smith. Saskia Lloyd, nice little kick finish from her. And then Lesberg to the inside. De Jong, the next of our St Stephen's Harriers around the 10:30 mark. Cara Foot next. And then Undrell, Julianne Undrell next position there. And a big, big finish here by Matilda Lestrange. And she'll be in under the 10:50 mark. And that concludes our women's A 3,000 metres.
Shane, when do you want to do the presentation? We'll let Rosie know. Ian, we'll let Rosie know that we'll do the presentation.
So official winning time for Rosie Donegan, 9:33.40. There will be a presentation for our 3,000 metre events, but we will do that at the conclusion of the men's A race. And we need 9 lap counters. If you do have an athlete in this race, please supply a lap counter. So 9 lap counters required for the men's field before we can get the men's A 3,000 underway. So if we could please have some assistance with the lap counters. So as we get our recorders organised here for the men's A 3,000 metres, let's introduce our very big field. In Station 1, from Wendouree, Australian Junior Champion over this distance, Archie Caldo. In 3, it's a big welcome back to the man from Western Athletics, former De Castella Junior 3,000 metre champion, Cody Shanahan. In 4, from Old Scotch, Benjamin Baisha. In 6, two-time Victorian 5,000 metre champion, Thomas Thorpe. In 7, from the VCCL, also multiple AFL Grand Final boundary umpire, Michael Marantali. In 8, from El Melburnians, Alexander Angus. In 9, from Glen Huntly, Sam Toll. 10, from Old Scotch, Tom Bowers. In 11, from Box Hill, Joshua McLeod. In 12, from Doncaster, Alistair Christie. In 13, it is Brett Ellis. Tynan Mims from Yarra Rangers is in 14. Baden Westerweller is in 15. Sam Quirk from St Stephen's in 16. Matt Buckle from Bendigo Uni in 17. Abdulaziz Haji Ali from Western Asps is in 18. Jacob Bells, Keyless and Berners in 19. Christopher Dale, our Victorian 3,000 metre steeplechase champion, he is in 20. Seth O'Donnell from Mentone in 21. Jaden Padgham, Bendigo Uni in 22. Brandon Muscat from Western A's in 23. Callan Goldsmith, Morning Peninsula, 24. Toby O'Brien from St Stephen's in 25. And Alexander Ruder from Mentone, 26. That is our field in the men's A3000. We need one more lap counter. One more lap counter before we fire that gun.
Two and five aren't competing. They've done this 2 and 5. So it's just Stevens, it's not money. Five, Buckley, so it's running 2 and 5, right? So 2 and 5, they've done this 2 and 5 aren't running. Okay. Thank you all. Here we go.
So underway now at men's A 3,000 metres. Our pacemaker. It's going to be Paddy Matthews in the blue. As we see, might make it hard. I think it might be Ruder's taken the lead here. O'Donnell, probably our top seed. Thorpe to the rear of him. Then I think that is Dale in next position. And Baisha, I believe, or that's Bowers. Then Buckle. But our pacemaker officially is Paddy Matthews, but I think Ruder's playing part of that role as well, because Alexander's definitely running well above seed time at the moment, maybe doing a bit of a pace job for Seth O'Donnell, his teammate there in the Mentone colours. So we see Ruder charging ahead of Matthews. So I'd say we've got double paces here, and we're seeing Thorpe just having to work to get on. So first lap, opening 62. They're meaning business here tonight. An opening lap of 62. They're not mucking around at all. That is well under the 8-minute target time. So 8:10 seed time here for O'Donnell, and at the moment they are charging forward of that. And there's a few guys who are willing to have a shot here and use those pacemakers. So Ruder and Matthews out front. O'Donnell just sitting in that clutch position behind them on the rails. Thorpe's done nicely to get back onto them. Then Dale, then Bowers. Christie moving forward. He's got Buckle with him. Then it's Bell, then Goldsmith, then Baisha, then Shanahan in next position. Alexander Angus next. So good to see a sprinkling of juniors. Quite a few of these will be heading to national champs next week and running this distance as well. Be interested to see what position Caldo is sitting at the back at the moment. But bear in mind he is quite a bit younger than most of those senior athletes out front. So still Ruder and O'Donnell, you can see just sitting there beautifully in that position. Dale's done a good move, also Bowers. The next one to step up there, that's Christie. That was a very good move from Al Christie. He's put himself in good position there just behind Bowers. As I think Paddy Matthews has had his time out front, ran a very good 1500 and steamed home in that 15 not so long ago. And that leaves our man out front, and it is Seth O'Donnell. So Ruder now sitting in that next position. So O'Donnell is charging forward. We know that he is brave. He's not going to hold back here at all. And O'Donnell, as we see Ruder pulling out, they're through the 1 kilometre in about 2:43. They are moving. So 2:48, 2:49, 2:50 there for Caldo. So that's about 8:30 pace. So out front now, it is all Seth O'Donnell. He's now out by 20 over Thorpe. Dale is up there as well as Bowers and Christie. Gap then to Buckle. He's in no man's land at the moment. I think Marantelli's in that next position leading the next chase pack. So O'Donnell through the 1200 and 3:14. So setting it up for a big time here, Seth O'Donnell. We've seen him show so much promise since he started here. I think we first spotted him at the Box Hill track a few years ago, and this man is certainly going on with it. But don't discount what can happen from behind, because we've got the Victorian two-time 5,000 metre champion in Tom Thorpe not far behind him, and our steeplechase champ, Chris Dale, not far off the back. Christie's having a very good season as well, and he's looking, old Christie looking very comfortable as he goes alongside Bowers. Buckle, as we said, just sitting there in no man's land. Then it's our boundary umpire, Marantelli. Great from any distance, 1,500 up to the marathon is Marantelli, and this man has lots of experience. Sammy Toll sitting in beautifully at the moment, just sitting there with Angus, I believe, and Toby O'Brien just off the back of them. But out front, that lead is extending. It's now up to nearly 50. So that's a big lead for O'Donnell against a quality opposition here. Multiple Victorian champions sitting behind him and in his wake at the moment. But Seth O'Donnell certainly come here tonight to prove something, and that is that he can run 3,000 metres and he can possibly go sub 8 minutes here tonight at the Box Hill Athletic Track. So impressive running, but we've still got a way to go here. So we're coming through. He'll be getting 3 laps to go. So 1,200 to go now for O'Donnell. So lots of support in the crowd. Let's get behind him, front straight and back. And we're seeing this pack of 4 working beautifully together. Thorpe's led most of the way, but I think Christie wants to take that lead. Dale sitting in the clutch position beautifully. Bowers just off the back. Marantelli now on the side of Buckle, with Shanahan just looming behind them. Alice and Caldo coming through together, 3 laps out. Padgham in next position. Then we've got Muscat and his teammate there in Haji Ali. Quirk, Westuella in next position. But out front, Seth O'Donnell just clearing it out. I think he's through the 2 kilometre mark, he would be. So I missed that split. The others are going through in 5:33, so that says a lot. He is well and truly ahead of schedule here. So Seth O'Donnell looking beautiful as he's coming down to get 2 laps to go. So time check, it'll be right on that 6-minute mark. So he's got to close. He's going to be under the 6. So he's got to be closing at around the 63s. So let's get behind him. A couple of 63s will get the sub 8. Christie, he is looking good. Now ahead of Thorpe and Dale and Bowers, as we're seeing Shanahan, the next one to launch through. Big run there from Goldsmith as well. Bice is sitting nicely. O'Brien just dropping back with Bell. And also Tynan Mims, saw him run a beautiful 5K not so long ago. But let's look out front. And the gap now between O'Donnell and the pack is about 75 metres. So O'Donnell leads it. 600 metres out. Chase pack now starting to really split as we're seeing Christie and Tom Thorpe just starting to get a little gap over Bowers and also Dale. Dale just ahead of Bowers at the moment. Into the home straight, second last time though. Let's get behind Seth O'Donnell. This is brave running. This is front running at its best. And we're seeing the man from Mentone just starting to really clear away from the pack here. And he goes down and he's going to get the sound of that bell. He's got to produce about a 60-second last. Let's try and get him under the 8-minute barrier. We need 60 seconds, Seth. Come on, you can do it. It's Thorpe now just ahead of Christie. Bowers back in the picture, then Darlin. Shanahan is moving in. Toll now going ahead of Goldsmith. Buckle and Marantali locked in the fight. Bell coming through and dragging O'Brien ahead of Baisha. Down the back straight, let's get the man from Mentone really happening here. 230 metres to go for Seth O'Donnell. Thorpe has now launched again, just gone ahead of Christie. Bowers coming at him, and look at Shanahan moving down that back straight. He could take second position from there, but out front it's all Seth O'Donnell rounding the bend the last time. As we see Padgham going through, Quirk and then Westerwella, but into the home straight now. 7:50. We're probably just going to miss that 8-minute mark, but gee, brave running. He'll get a PB here tonight. He'll be rewarded, but it's just ticking over the 8 now. But great running, Seth O'Donnell. It's all on for second place, but 8:04 unofficial. Thorpe will take the second position. As I said, Shanahan just came from nowhere. 8:10 for Thorpe, 8:11, 8:12. Big runs there from Bowers and Christie. Dale will hang on. Goldsmith might just get him on the line. Then Toll, Marantali, Buckley in next position. O'Brien, Bell. And then we have Alexander, Angus and Tynan Mims. Baisha next through. Then Caldo, our junior champion. He's run a consistent race there right on the 8:30 mark. So Archie will be happy with that. Next position, Josh McLeod. He'll be through the next in 8:42 unofficially. Haji Ali just coming over the top of Alice just to claim that. No, Alice will take it on the inside. Muscat, he'll be through 8:50. And let's get behind our final few runners as they round it out here. Padgham in next position. So another one of our Bendigo University runners. 9:02. Quirk will stop the clock around the 9:06 mark. And Westerwella, our final finisher here. And he'll stop the clock at 9:12. So a very exciting race there. Seth O'Donnell really going for it. Didn't quite get the sub-8, but he was close. And Tommy Thorpe coming in second position there. Cody Shanahan, he's back. The Western Age crowd will be happy with that one from Cody. So another reminder for lap scorers. If you've got runners in the next race, we will require assistance with lap scorers. If we could have Seth O'Donnell and Rosie Donegan out to presentations, please. Seth O'Donnell and Rosie Donegan. We will proceed with our 3,000 metre trophy presentation at the 2022 Box Hill Classic. Could we please have Seth O'Donnell over to the finish line, please? Seth O'Donnell to the finish line. Could we please have Seth O'Donnell to the presentation area immediately? Seth O'Donnell to presentations, please. Let's go to our next presentation. It is for the 3,000 metres, and we will do these two together after two sensational solo front-running efforts. In our women's event, our winner from Melbourne University, Rosie Donegan, in a time of 9:33.40. In our men's event, taken out in a time of 8:04.96, a massive personal best. Well run, good front-running. Seth O'Donnell from the Mentone Athletic Club. So congratulations, Rosie and Seth, the winners of our 3,000 metres at the 2022 Box Hill Classic. And get out of the way, Jeremy Griffith. So another reminder, if you have runners in the next event, which is the men's B 3,000 metres, we will require lap scorers. Good to see Bryn Lonergan sitting there patiently ready to go after a great win in the 1,500 earlier. As we can multitask, can't we, Bryn?
As we do have 10 minutes break on the program here from Box Hill, we will play some replays of the action that has happened throughout the night. 8:36, the next race is on the program, live from Hagenauer Reserve.
The clock now, so we're opening our competition tonight. World record, unofficially 8:36 thereabouts. The B team, 1.5-second mark, and a big, strong finish here for Mitch Wilson. So a well-judged race to him. 53. It's going to be about a 55, I'd say it will be. That's a good time. So Cole will take it. Landon holding on beautifully. 1:59, 2 minutes now. We're going to see some good times here as they approach Nationals. 2:03. Landon will hold on times. Won't be quite on the PB, but it's certainly going to be a big effort here. Jack Lunn, as we go into Nationals, he's in good shape. Won't be too far off at either. 1:48 now for the second, third and fourth. And I think Kane's back in the picture. Gadsden races again. This is on. Battle of wills here. The Gad strength. And it's Walsh from Essendon, Keyless and third and Ford. And the young man, Harris. What a good run there. So 4:24. That's the interest. Sear is in the lead, but Lonergan comes at him, and Sear looks to his side and lets him pass. But gee, 4:10, Fret, big run from him. This young lady is moving. So going to be under the 5-minute mark. So well done, Matisse. What a run from you. So stopping the clock around 4:57. White's off the pace a little bit. So it's going to be their wrong side of 4 minutes, but Munro will take the win. Lindsay will be in second. Love it next. Then Savile Bentley actually comes through a when challenge, and Simone Maladate will take this out just over the 4:40 mark. So a nice finish there for Simone. She'll win it. 4:44 unofficial. Jamie Wainwright. So time check now, 3:50. So good one there from McMenemy. Big charge home from Matthews, but Bunnage then doing so well over the 5,000 and 3,000. But Georgia Griffith, look at the time here. She's absolutely crunched it, 4:12. So the Olympian At Box Hill, Jude Thomas coming home strong. You can't go past Davey, so the Queenslander will take another one right on 340. 41 Thomas in second. Great run, Huss. That's going to be right on that 9:30 mark. So Lestrange goes through. 9:30 now, but big run from Rosie Donegan. She took command right from the start. Impressive run. Will be rewarded, but it's just ticking over the 8 now. But great running, Seth O'Donnell. It's all on for second place, but 8:04 unofficial. Thorpe will take the second.
And that's all the action we've had so far tonight. We are coming up to event 16, the men's B 3,000 metres. That is scheduled for 8:36 p.m. local time, which is in about 7 minutes' time. We have 3 events left for the night. After the men's B 3,000, we have the men's C 3,000 scheduled for 8:50, with our final event of the night scheduled for 9:05, which is the mixed A 3,000 metre event. Live results and start list can be seen by going to atsvic.resultshub.com.au. You can see that link on your screen. We will bring you back coverage back from Hagenauer Reserve, live from our commentator down on the ground, Tim Crosby, when this next race does get underway. But thanks for watching Athletics Exclusive. Make sure you do subscribe if you are watching on YouTube, or follow our page if you are watching on Facebook. Our next live stream after the Box Hill Classic will be the Victorian Athletic League Ringwood Gift in a few weeks' time. So Sunday the 3rd of April will be our next live stream, but we will go on a bit of a break until the next race on the track.
So one more lap score required before we get underway with our next race, which is the men's B 3,000 metres. We're all done, so ready to go. We'll call the field shortly. So we're assembling now for the next race, which will be the men's 3,000 metres B. And our starters are in Station 2, representing Mentone, Hudson Bucci. In 5 from Knox, it is Matthew Venner. Tom Gardner is in 6. Rory Vile from Old Scotch in 7. Angus McAfee from Bendigo University in 8. Aston Key is in 9. Nicholas Dennis, Melbourne Uni in 10. Seth Chan from Old Scotch in 11. Tom Jansen from Frankston in 12. Tristan Pice from Mentone is in 14. Daniel Smee in 15. Nathan Tiemans is in 16. Luke Nicholson in 17. Harrison Carr from Old Scotch in 18. Patrick Jaffe from Melbourne University is in 20. In 24 we have from Box Hill, Clary McIntyre. And in 25 from Wendouree, Jacob Cheeseman. They are our starters in the men's B 3,000 metres. Underway now, the men's B 3,000 metres. So we'll see how they settle and whether a pacemaker makes their way forward. So seed times here ranging from around that 8:50 mark as our top seeds. And there's a few around there, including Patrick Jaffe from Melbourne University, also Hudson Bucci. And we do have a pacer. Yep, pacer leading the way. Ross Thomas, I believe that is. As Bucci is sitting in there nicely. Rory Vile also there, not wearing the hat tonight, so it's going to make my job that little bit harder. But Matthew Venner also up in the mix early, so Ross Thomas leading the way according to my list with Bucci. Been racing everything that comes his way this season, Hudson Bucci, in the Mentone colours, and good to see him back out of here again over the 3,000 metres. So sub 9 minutes, we'd be looking at under 72 seconds per lap. And let's see what our pacemaker sets them up at as they go through lap number 1 in about 69.70. Perfect pacing. So that's why such a nice solid group sitting behind the pacer at the moment. And Bucci and Venner, two of our top seeds, certainly benefiting from that nice, steady, even pacing on this perfect night here at Box Hill. So the wind has dropped to nothing. Cool conditions, great for 3,000 metre running. And we're seeing big times in those previous events with Donegan and also O'Donnell setting up some great times in the A races. Now we go to the B. A lot of these contenders looking at national championships. Harrison Carr up there. Also seeing Seth Chan. Cheeseman sitting at the back of that pack at the moment, the Wendouree runner. See, I think that's Chan who's made his charge forward to sit off the side of the pacemaker as they go down the back straight the second time. So we're looking now around that 220 to 222 mark potentially as they go through the 800 metres. We want them under the 224. We want them on that sub 9 minute time schedule as they clock through now. 220 perfect pacing. Sitting on the 70s at the moment. Just what they want. Rear of the field sitting on about 226, so they're sitting around that 9:10 to 9:15 mark at the moment at the back of the pack. They're coming through now, and we'll get the 1 kilometre mark as they come down the home straight. It's third time as the pacemaker has them nicely stepped behind him. Good order. They're all sitting on the rail. This is smart racing at the moment. The action really starts to happen when they hit that last couple of laps. So big move here. Venner just stepping forward, head of Carr. Another good move there from Tristan Price from Mentone. Looks like Paddy Matthews is sitting in and pacing again. I'm not sure what the time schedule is for Paddy. So at the back of the field, I think that's me. I think he's a Tasmanian, actually. That looks like Sandy Bay colours that he's wearing. And also Clary McIntyre. But out front, Chan just stepping back a little bit. And we're seeing Venner and Bucci, two of our younger runners. They're sitting up nicely. So 31-32. So that one just dropped a little bit. So we need to just keep that pace sitting around the 70-second mark per lap. So right on 3:30 apparently, according to our spotter over the other side. So they are sitting on the 70s. So this pacemaker, it is Ross Thomas, just doing an absolutely perfect job here. As we see the Frankston runner there, Tom Jansen, he's starting to be in that little break as they move forward. Vile now going alongside three old Scotch runners all together, Chan, Vile, and also Carr all together at the moment. And yes, that is the Sandy Bay colours there. Daniel Smee, Tasmanian, running with Clary McIntyre at the rear of the B field. The pacemaker just starting to get a little bit of a gap, so the boys now have to move forward. Tristan Price from Mentone. He's one of those runners up there at the moment. Jansen, the Frankston runner, sitting there on 5th on the track behind the pacemaker. And I reckon that one might have dropped a little bit. We'll wait and see as they come around. So 42. So that was a 72-second lap, which is 9-minute pace. So 4:42 as they went through. And that's the 1,600-metre mark. So Venner, he now leads the race proper behind the pacemaker. Venner, Bucci, Price, Jansen. Move now coming. Spot that move as it comes past. That's Aston Key. Sorry, Luke Nicholson in next position. Then Nicholas Dennis. I think we saw Nicholas take out the Dash for Cash at Milers Club. I think it was on this track as well. Smee just now getting ahead of McIntyre. And out front, Venner, Price, Bucci, Jansen. And they have been joined there. There's a nice move there actually as they go through. So that was that's another 70, so they're back on. So the pacemaker's done his job. So they're going through 2 kilometres now. They're under the 6 minutes. So a group of 5 out front, all on sub 9-minute pace. The others, they'll be just on as they go through. So let's see how many we can get through under that 9-minute mark here this evening. Great night here at Box Hill for the 2022 Box Hill Classic. And we see it is the taller figure there, Tristan Price in the Mentone colours. Mentone Club been so prevalent at these middle distance and distance running meets throughout the season. 2 of them up there in this lead pack. And Venner makes the move. So coming through, 800 metres to go, Matt Venner. So Aston Key is the second place position there. Bucci, Price, Jansen. Gap then to Dennis, I believe, in next position. Smee now getting a bit of a distance on Clary McIntyre. So they're all into the last 2 laps now. Out front, we're seeing quite a few moves happening here. Price and Bucci and Jansen now trying to make that gap or bridge that gap to our leaders, Venner and also Key. So pacing is picking up here. This is what we like to see in a 3,000 metres. They are ramping it up. We saw Matt Venner just really dig deep as he approached that 2 laps to go mark, and he really got the pace going. Key, the beneficiary of that pacing though, and he goes to the outside. I think we may have a new leader, 500 out. So 2.5 kilometres in, 500 to go now. And I think Aston Key is the one who is starting to take the lead here. So Key, Venner, Bucci, Jansen, Price. So Key, 1 lap out, onto the bell now. So out front, Key leads it. Jansen the next one to make the charge. He's gone ahead of Venner. Bucci now drawing in on Venner as well. Then I think it might be Jaffe ahead of Price. So out front though, all Aston Key. 200 out. They are really kicking this one down. We're going to get quite a few of them. He's 8.13 as he goes through the 200 to go. So that's 2.8 kilometres in, and Aston Key really winding this up. I can't see him being run down by Jansen, but Jansen finishing nicely as well. Bucci drawing alongside Venner as they start to come around the final bend. Gap then to Jaffe. Into the home straight now though. Aston Key, 8.34 on the clock. It's been a good run here from Key. He came from nowhere into that lead pack to take it, and he'll take out a win well under the 8.50 mark. So good running Aston Key, 8.45 thereabouts. Jansen next, then Venner, then Bucci, all under the 8.50. Jaffe in next position, 8.53. Let's get them all under. Then we've got Dennis, Price. Yeah, lots of them under the 9 minute. I think Cheeseman just missed it. Next one through there was Tom Gardner. Then we have Harrison Carr, but a whole pile of them under the 9 minute mark. We'll wait for AV Results Hub to show all those results. Let's get behind Smee here from the Tasmanian, from the Sandy Bay Club. Good to have him here. So Smee will be in next positions, finishing and around 9.22. So great running from him. And Clary McIntyre from Box Hill, he'll be the final finisher in the men's B 3,000 metres. So winning time, 8.46.02. Aston Key taking out the B 3,000 metres, 8.46.02. So once again, we will require people to help us out with the lap scoring for the men's C 3,000 metres, scheduled to start at 8:50 p.m. We will require lap scorers. It's a big field of around 26, so lots of lap scorers required for our next event, the C 3,000 metres. 3 more lap scorers required before we get underway with the men's C3000. So 3 more lap scorers required. Thank you. So let's introduce our field, the men's C3000 metres, and they are Archie Hewitt from Mornington Peninsula in Station 1. In Station 2, Lucas Paminger from Box Hill. Starting in 4 is Daniel Velado. Jimmy Goulas from Melbourne Uni is in 6. In 7 from Western Apps, Alistair McDonald. Mike Biolny from Bendigo Uni is in 8. Isaac Mex is in 9. In 10 we have Ranveer Gurja from Box Hill. Chris Armstrong from the Shepherders Runners Club is in 12. In 13 we have Cameron Sace. In 16, Cooper Proven from St Kevin's. Matthew Holdick from South Melbourne is in 17. Also from South Melbourne, Vimil Gunalan is in 18. Andrew Lego, Mentone, 19. Kennedy Chen is in 21. Liam Delaney, 22. Zach Granger from Wendouree in 23. Andrew McAvoy from Glen Huntly, 24. And Andrew Turver from Mornington Peninsula, 25. Ross Thomas once again to do the pacemaking. They're our starters in the men's C3000 metres. So underway once again, our pacemaker just edging his way forward. This is a good sign of a good pacer, not darting out early, just getting the runners on his back and then starting to force out that pace. Gee, one runner down already on the bend. Not sure what's going on there. Anyway, try and spot who that is. It is Ross Thomas once again. Granger, also Lego. Archie Hewitt, Ranveer Gurja. And we have Isaac Mex, and a lot of Isaac this season. And I think that might have been a wardrobe malfunction there for Andrew Turver, but he's back up and running again, so that's a great sign. Just got to make sure he doesn't expend too much energy trying to latch himself back onto that lead pack. But Granger and Lego sitting out there nicely with Hewitt. And you can see Gurja. Then Mex. I think Velado might be in next position. Hard to spot down the back straight. So opening lap here. Let's see what it is. About the 72 says. So they're on sub 9 minute pace as they open up here. So the lead times are around the 9:25 mark. So yeah, they're well ahead of that. Granger being one of those top seeds here for 9.25 seed time. You're also looking for Lada around the 9.25s. And also Alison McDonald from Western A's. The pacemaker, getting them off to a good start. Lego's been in good form all season, the Mentone runner. Granger saw him win a couple of state championships at the Vicks. So good to see Zach back down from Ballarat here this evening. Mex up there, Velardo there, McDonald there, and also Cooper Proven, and then Delaney next position. Jimmy Goulas being paced there, got a personal pacer there with Paddy Matthews. Not sure what the time schedule is once again, but Paddy stepping into pace, so also giving back once again to the sport. So 75 for the pace number 1 and 80 seconds for pace number 2. So 80 seconds being the 10-minute pace bus, and Paddy Matthews is the one setting the pace there. Thomas setting off a bit quick on that first lap, but he's got some runners who I know can do that pace, and they're setting off. Oh, they're right on it now. So 2:30 through the 800. So pulled them back a bit, but they're sitting on the 75s, and that'll give them around that 9:15 to 9:20 sort of target time. But I think Granger definitely has the goods. I can just feel the breeze coming up a little bit now down on the track in the home straight from behind. So a bit of a southerly just starting to ease up or bring up a little bit now after some perfect conditions for those 83,000 metres earlier. So Thomas leads, Granger, Lego, no change there. And also Archie Hewitt, Isaac Mex, Velardo, McDonald, Delaney, Proven, Gurger. Then it's the 80-second bus, Jimmy Goulas, also Holdick. Also up there, Cameron Sace. Okay, and then we move back through the field. Good to see Server has made his way through. So at the back of the field now, it's Gunnelin and also Mike Bielny, one of our great Victorian Masters athletes in the Bendigo University colours of yellow and white. But out front, they're getting a little bit antsy here. They're going ahead of the pacer. Zach Granger doing that. Lego right on his shoulder. Good to see Archie Hewitt still right in that bunch. Isaac Mex up there as well. McDonald and Velardo side by side. And I think the first one starting to drop slightly there. We'll try and pick them up as they come round. So Gurger now dropping back into that, towards that 80-second bus with Paddy Matthews. As we see the pacemaker now take the lead again as they come through and probably get a bit of a headwind here into the home straight. So Granger and Lego still a big part of that lead group. They are two of the top seeds. Although Lego's probably the top seed at 9.24, I believe. He's got 1 second over Granger. So Mex, he's an interesting one. Seen him run the 10Ks on the track. We've seen him run the shorter stuff as well. And Isaac Mex, quite a young man, looking quite solid in that lead pack. Cooper Proven just dropping back a little bit. Goulas going past Gurger. Holditch also there. Chris Armstrong in the bright pink. We can't miss Chris here tonight. Bielny just getting a little bit ahead of Gunnelin. Young man in the South Melbourne colours. Good to see the red and white here. A few of their runners here this evening. Now it's Lego and Granger still side by side. Lego is a pretty determined character. He likes a good hard race out front. And I think we're going to see as they go through here with the pacemaker done his job, and he did that perfectly. So it's now Lego and Zach Granger. Archie Hewitt, quite distinctive in the orange uniform. He's sitting pretty there in that fourth position. Daniel Velardo in next slot. Then it's Mex. Delaney just starting to drift off the back a bit. And then there's a gap to Proven. And we're going to find that it probably will be the Paddy Matthews bus that picks up Cooper Proven fairly soon. So the breeze just still getting up a bit. So Lego in the Mentone. Well, he's from Mentone, but not quite in the uniform tonight. Granger. McDonald moved up. Hewitt. Velardo. Mex. Delaney. Proven. Then Matthews with Goulas. Holdick. Also Sace. Armstrong. Good to see Andrew McAvoy back out. Then we've got the threesome from Box Hill. Gurger. Chen. I'll just try and identify the one in the middle. That looks like Pamager. Gap then to Turver, Bielny, and Gunnelin still running along quite nicely. So 2K in now, 6.18, 6.19 for 2K in our lead bunch. So they're sitting about that 9:30 pace at the moment. And I would like to think they're going to kick it down a little bit as they come into this final kilometre. So Granger's certainly got the legs. You don't win a Victorian Junior Championship if you don't have speed. And I think Granger, we're going to see him start to kick it down. But Lego and McDonald, they want to go with him. Velado just sticking to the front group as we see Hewitt just drifting back a bit. Mex now starting to struggle. He'll feel the pace as he comes through to get 2 laps to go. Then Delaney. Proven hasn't been chewed up by the Paddy Matthews bus yet, but I think that's going to happen now. Holdick sitting nicely there. So is Sace, Armstrong in good position. Then McAvoy. Goulis just dropping a little bit. Pamager in next position. Turver coming through. Gone past Chen. Bielny in next slot. Down the back straight. A few little moves coming now. Starting to get quite interesting. A couple of good packs forming here too. I like what I'm seeing in that second pack. But out front. Still Lego leading. Gee, Granger seems to have just dropped a little bit. So the pace starting to look quite decent out front. And as I said, Lego is a tough competitor. He's going to just keep forging out these lap splits. And everyone should just sit there. McDonald in next position though. And he takes the lead. So seen Alistair McDonald also have a good season. Velado goes with him. So McDonald, Velado, Lego, Granger, Hewitt in that order. Mex then Delaney. And Paddy's just driven this bus beautifully. He's still got Sace, also Proven. Armstrong's in there. Holditch just dropping back a little bit. Then McAvoy. Gap then to Goulis. Turver coming through. But out front, it is a good battle on hand here. McDonald versus Velado. Lego dropping back. Granger starting to pick it up. Hewitt also going nicely on the last lap. Pamager and Chen now coming through. Then Bielny. But out front, it looks like we've got a change. Change in lead here as Velado just takes over from McDonald. But McDonald not giving up. This is what we want to see in these 3,000-metre races. And a bit of a gap, probably 25 metres. And McDonald goes again. It's on. We've got McDonald to the outside and Velado to the inside. It's on for the pride and the prestige of winning a race here at Box Hill, the famous track here at Haganau Reserve. Look at them go. This is worthy of big applause. Let's get behind the two of them. McDonald, Velado, they'll cross the line together. 9:20, right on. They're happy. Great racing, guys. Granger, he'll come through right on his target time, around the 9:25. Then Hewitt, under 9:30. Lego, great racing for him, right on the 9:30 mark. Chris Armstrong's made the trip down from Shepparton, well worthwhile. 9:36 for him, and a fist pump. He's happy. Then it's Mex, Sace, Delaney in next. Then Proven, Holditch. Then we have McAvoy. And the young man who had a little bit of an oops at the start, but Turver battled on nicely. And we're going to get him under 10 minutes. That is an impressive performance. Well done. Sub 10 minutes here this evening. Chen just coming over the top of Pamager. Goulis in next position. Just over the 10-minute mark. Bielny, he'll round out the field here in the men's C 3,000 metres. So let's get behind Mike. From all the way from Bendigo. Another good run there. 10:15.
Somehow it was right.
beginning. I stopped up.
So once again, we've got to make sure we've got enough lap scorers before we get underway with the final race of the night, the mixed 3,000 metres.
I'll tell you who are non-starters. One. Leg number one. Leg number one is a non-starter. Leg number two. Leg number three. 1, 2 and 3 are out. See that? 1, 2 and 3 are out. 10 and 11. 10 and 11. 1, 2 and 3 are out. 10 and 11 out. He's got 10 and 11. They're out. He's got that. 15. One, two, three, 10, 10, 11, 15 and 17.
So let's introduce our field now. Final event of the night. Been a great Box Hill Classic, and big thank you to the Box Hill Athletic Club and our volunteer helpers, and also to the Middle Distance and Distance Fraternity of Victoria for once again supporting this great event, and Athletes International. So our field for the A mixed 3,000 metres final event. James Lynn is in station 4. Quan Nguyen from Melbourne University is in 5. Maxi Letton from St Stephen's in 6. Kimberly Turver, Mornington Peninsula in 7. Michael Thomas, also Mornington Peninsula in 8. Paul Viney from Collingwood Harriers is in 9. In 12 from Box Hill, Fabiano Aguard. Madison Button, Melbourne Uni is in 13. Joanne Pratt, Casey Cardinia in 14. In 16, Peter Russian, Glenn Huntley in 17. Cameron Marshall, Old Zavarians. From Collingwood Harriers, Katie Ward is in 19. Michael Bishop from Mornington Peninsula in 20. Rob Petrie is in 21. Richard Dorr from Mornington Peninsula 22. Julie Norney, Box Hill 23. Tim McNeil is in 24. Chloe Phelan is in 25. And William Hughes is in 26. And Ross Thomas once again pacing in the A mixed 3,000 metres. So underway now, top times here. We're looking around that 10:20 mark thereabouts. So, which will be a bit over 80-second laps. So we'll see what Mr. Thomas settles them down at as they lead through. As we see him once again, just letting the runners settle before he takes the lead and starts to lead them through. So they're coming from a few different directions at the moment, and a few just charging forward. In the Mornington Peninsula uniform, there's lots of them in this race. So let's get a fix on who's leading the way as our pacemaker just goes out towards the front. And there's Michael Thomas. Bishop's also in there. Maxi Letton up there. Then Aguard. Gee, they're going wide. I think Paddy Matthews is also pacing. Michael Thomas just ahead of our pacer at the moment. Paddy Matthews also pacing once again. As you said, we're looking around a bit over 80 seconds per lap, and I think they'll be just on that as they start to go through and approach the 400-metre mark here in this mixed race. So time check as they go through, right on 80. So that's 10 minutes. 10-minute schedule at the moment for our lead bunch, which is not surprising given these seed times. So supposedly doing 82s, but they're on 80, so they'll probably settle that over the next couple of laps, but definitely not a bad thing. Just to open up and get that 80 seconds under their belts. Once again, wind just coming up a little bit more in the home straight here, so a nice tailwind probably down the back, a little bit of a headwind as they come through and approach the start-finish or the finish line on each of these laps. So Cameron Marshall now sitting into the next position. Quan Nguyen also going up there, then Thomas, then Bishop, then Letton. Looks like Viney's up there as well. Great to see Julie Norney back on the track here at Box Hill, her home track. Looks like Turver's just running alongside Button at the moment. So Ward sitting at the back of the field there with Joe Pratt. And out front, so they'll probably settle this down. Cameron Marshall, the old Zavarians uniform, sitting in second position. Quan Nguyen in next. I think that's still Thomas in that next position in the Mornington Peninsula uniform as we go through the 800 metres in 242. So yeah, they've settled that down. Nice 82-second lap there. Yeah, so 81.5 there for the second lap. So they're tracking along quite nicely and on pace. So this will give them those about that 10, 10:15 sort of target time, which is what they'll be after. So we will require these ones to finish in lane 3 as well, as we see our pacemaker just setting a nice little target pace for them. Good bunch, maybe about 10 still in that bunch out front. Aguard's nearly got himself on, actually. So that's a good sign. So Viney is up there. Tim McNeil also in that bunch. Aguard nearly back onto them. As we see Rob Petrie moving forward. Then Matthews. Button. Then we got Kiralee Turver. Then Julie Norney. Richard Dorr in next position. Then Cashin. Then I think that's the second of the twins. We saw Harry running earlier and James Lynn in this 3,000 metre event. So Ross Thomas doing an awesome job here tonight. Hopefully he's getting paid well by the Box Hill Athletic Club. What a role he's done pacing these 3,000 metres and doing it with precision timing. So I think Marshall's still sitting there. Nguyen up there as well. No real change. McNeil sitting at the back of that pack at the moment. Then a fair gap actually to Rob Petrie. And a little bit of a gap forming here. I think Thomas, Aguard and McNeil going to have to work if they want to get back onto that pace group. A little bit of a gap forming as Thomas just leads them through nicely. Michael Bishop to the outside. Letton up there as well. Viney. And also there is William Hughes, also from the Mornington Peninsula Club. So Thomas looks like he might be the first one. He's just starting to struggle on that pace. 4 laps to go. So Petrie Dorr is moving through beautifully. Buttons with him. And then Turver, Lynn, Cashin, Norney. Russian, Norney. Then Chloe Phelan sitting there with Joe Pratt. A little bit of a gap to Katie Ward. So the pacemaker. Now taking them through, I think that's the 1,600 metre mark. So that's the mile and around 5:30. Pacemaker's still there. So McNeil, 5:29 at the 1,600 metre mark. So McNeil now having to do a little bit of work to get back on. Aguard's still there. Hughes at the rear of that lead pack as well, but they're sitting nicely. So Paul Viney, one of the more experienced runners, he knows how to run these 3,000 metres. He's done them before, and he's sitting in perfect position at the moment in the lead group. Dawes made a good move just to get ahead of Petrie. And then we see Button, running alongside Paddy Matthews, our pacer. Turvey not too far behind, and then James Lynn also in the mix. So 3 to go, 1,200 out now. Not far from hitting that 2 kilometre mark. Dawes made a lovely move there, and he's running quite strongly. So Button sitting perfectly behind our pacemaker. Turver going well, then Lynn. He's focused in on this race here. Then Peter Russian, Julie Norney. Now we have Chloe Phelan going along nicely there with Joe Pratt and Katie Ward. They're approaching the 2 kilometre mark, so this will tell us a lot. And we've seen a lot of kick downs in the 3Ks tonight over that last K. Ross Thomas leading them through, 6:51 unofficially there. Yep, so they're on about the 10:20 mark at the moment. So let's see how many we can get around that 10:20 thereabouts. So Ross Thomas has got Cameron Marshall sitting right with him. Quan Nguyen also been prominent in that lead pack. Maxie Letton up there too. In the St Stephen's colours. William Hughes, he's got a 10:29 best time, so he's right on that at the moment. As we see Bishop just drifting back as Fabiano Aguard starts to move forward. He's a 10:30 man, so all these guys are right on the edge. McNeil next, then Thomas, Dorr, Petrie, and then Button with her pacemaker, Pat Matthews. So Dorr and Petrie just drawing back in on Richard Dorr, 2 laps out, so 800 to go. Button starting to dig in. She's got the pacemaker to help her. Turver looking really good as she comes through to get 2 to go as well. And James Lynn is moving nicely. Peter Russian also going along beautifully. Julie Norney knows this track well. She's got 2 more laps of it here this evening at the Box Hill Classic. Phelan and also Pratt working together. Katie Ward not too far behind. So 600 out for our lead pack. So nice group out front still. Viney just sticking on the back of them. There's a group of 5 plus the pacemaker. Gap then to Hughes and also Bishop, the Mornington Peninsula runners. I'm not going to pick a winner from this point here, but I think you'd be looking Letton and also Nguyen might be looking good. Aguard, I'm really impressed with that run too from Fabiano tonight. He is just digging deep with each lap. So Marshall, Nguyen, Letton up there. Gap then to Will Thomas, then Michael Bishop. Good running here from Michael Thomas. McNeil, next one to go through to get the bell. But out front, nothing's really changing. They're happy to sit with the pacer, who's probably going to peel off at some stage, leaving Cameron Marshall and Maxie Letton. Maxie Letton, here's what I'm saying, and he goes for it. So big launch there from Letton. He's gone at 250, and then we find Quan Nguyen's gone with him and trying to chase, but a big break now from Maxie Letton from St Stephen's. He's looking quite solid there. So Letton leading it. Great moves, just sat in early, and then Letton has really gone for it here in this last final stage as we see Phelan, Pratt and Ward coming through. But Letton, he's going to go out to lane 3 to finish this. We'll have a little bit of lapping going on, but Nguyen coming at him. It's on. So Letton will take it. Quan Nguyen will take second. 10.02. Gee, just missed the 10-minute mark. Big run from Cameron Marshall. 10.07. Aguard, that's a big one from him as well. That's a massive PB for Fabiano. And Viney, another great run from Paul as he comes through. Hughes will be through in a PB as well. That's a big PB for him. Thomas goes over the top of Bishop to round out that Mornington Peninsula race. Both of them, I think, under their seed times as we see Vincent and also, who's that coming from the darkness? That is Petrie. Big finish from Rob as we see Rob Petrie just not getting there over Tim McNeil. 10.40 for those two. Button, big run from Maddie. So she's going to well under that 11-minute mark. She'll be happy with that one. Dorr in next position. Look at little James Lynn and Julie Norney just challenging Turver at the end. So it'll be Dorr, Lynn, Norney, all under the 11-minute mark. And Peter Russian right on the 11. So Good run. Pratt just coming over the top there of Phelan. So Joe Pratt coming through to finish the 3,000 metres. And Phelan coming in with an 11-minute time. Just a shade over that, but a good run there from Joe Pratt as well. Came in with 11.25 and well and truly under that tonight, Joe. And let's get behind Katie Ward. Great run from Katie once again. So she's coming in with a 12-minute seed time. Beautiful running, Katie. She's well under that. 11.35 thereabouts for Katie Ward, who rounds out our field and our competitors for the 2022 Box Hill Classic here at Hagenauer Reserve. So once again, big thank you to the Box Hill Athletic Club for hosting. Big thank you to our volunteers, without whom we could not run a meet like this. And once again, big thank you to the coaches, family, supporters and the athletes for supporting the Box Hill Classic here in 2022.
And with that, that rounds out our coverage of the 2022 Box Hill Classic, live from Hagenauer Reserve. Thank you very much to our commentator down on the ground, Tim Crosby, who brought you all the action there. Also Dave Armstrong on the main camera. My name is Lachlan Rayner. Thanks for watching Athletics Exclusive. Our next event is Ringwood Gift on Sunday the 3rd of April. Until then, we hope you have a good night.
You can't go past Davey, so the Queenslander will take another one right on 340. 41 Thomas in second. Great run, Huston. That's going to be right on that 9:30 mark. So Lestrange goes through. 9:30 now, but big run from Rosie Donegan. She took command right from the start. Impressive. Will be rewarded, but it's just ticking over the 8 now. But great running, Seth O'Donnell. It's all on for second place with 8:04 unofficial. Thorpe will take her into that lead pack to take it, and he'll take out a win well under the 8:50 mark. So good running, Aston Key. 8:45 thereabouts. Jansen next, then Benner. Look at them go. This is worthy of big applause. Let's get behind the two of them. McDonald, Bilardo. They'll cross the line together. 9:20 right on. Bang at him. It's on. So Letton will take it. Bunwin will take second. 10:02. She just...